Well, good afternoon and welcome to Lightwood Park for the Women's Statewide Cup Final. It is history in the making for one of these two sides today. The Kingborough Lions taking on the Devonport Strikers. Neither side has won the Women's Statewide Cup in their history. That is all set to change. A massive clash in store here at the Den, the Lions Den. Basically a home game despite the neutral cup venue. It should be a cracking encounter. I'm Andrew calling the action here today, and alongside me is Alex Murray. Alex, what are you expecting from this one, mate?
Really good cup matchup. I think this is a Lions side with a lot of potential that can beat anyone on their day against the league leaders and probably the best team thus far this season, a team with a lot of experience in it. But equally, I think Lions have challenged them throughout this season. The 2-1 down here was a really good game. And I think they've just got some good game changers in their team that can win a match for them, and that's all you need. We saw it in the Under-21s game earlier. One goal can win it, and so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, well, the match winner the last time these sides did meet, you referenced that 2-1 result. It was Whitney Knight who scored the winner, and that's probably the big news pre-game. No Whitney Knight in the Devonport Strikers lineup today, so a big hole there to fill, and the Lions will certainly welcome that news. We'll see who can step up. The other big change probably is in net. Georgia Anderson will be between the sticks. We've seen Sam Hardy in that role. She will be playing on the outfield. I'll take you through the starting 11s here before we kick off. Devonport Strikers with Anderson, Danielle Capel, Georgia King, her experienced customer. She's going to be vital on a big occasion like this. Young Annalie Bidwell's been a standout at the back. Maddie Payne, a crucial goal scorer. Sam Hardy will add plenty of toughness in midfield, as will Lucy Foote, both capable from distance. Abby White, Elizabeth Sullivan, Grace Sims and Holly Emmett rounding out the team. Some young prospects there. That's the starting 11. For Kingborough, their starting 11. Erica McIntosh has been nailed on as the keeper this season. Tilly Wills coming into some nice form at the back. She'll be very important. Danielle Canagiza playing in, I'm going to say it's a record. It's her 7th cup final. If anyone's beaten that, fair play to them. She's got a 4-2 record. Played in her first one all the way back in 2009 for then Clarence United. So plenty of big game experience from Canagiza. Scored a brace that actually sunk the Kingborough Lions in a recent cup final too. Today she'll be trying to get one up for the Lions. Ava Wiley, a promising young player. Hannah Walsh, arguably been the player of the season in the Women's Super League this year. She's an absolute star. She'll be crucial. Christabel Moore, another handy player in midfield. Laura Davis, she's been on the big occasion a couple of times and they've fallen short. We know what a star she is. Devonport will have to watch her closely. Cara Lashma, Anna Fuchs, Amelia Howe and Eloise Payne rounds out the starting 11s. A quick tip before we get going here, Alex.
I want to say Kingborough, and I think I will. I think I will go with Kingborough. I just think they're a bit of a cup team, I think, just the way they are built, the types of players they have. Whitney Knight not being in the side, I know that's probably a bit stiff on players like Georgia King and Lucy Foote, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go with today.
So we're underway in the Women's Statewide Cup Final. Silverware on the line. History awaiting one of these two sides. Anderson driving it to Moore. Suspicions of handball played on. Chipped over the top by Walsh, but just retreating from an offside position. Danielle Canagiza. He'll come into this game off the back of a match winner up at Windsor Park in the dying minutes of their last outing. A bit of a scrappy performance, that one from them. They'll need to be sharper today. Cam Hazelwood said in Friday's press conference, let's be honest, we were quite lucky to get away with that one as the ball played towards the top of the area. Dangerous Lashma, seen away from her. She'll go back on it. It's pretty well defended there.
Yeah, I think you mentioned, I think that's been the challenge with Kingborough from being a WSL contender, even over the last few years. Their highs are probably as good as anyone in the league, but just that consistency factor, and I think they're getting there under Coach Cam Hazelwood. I think they're building something really nice here. But yeah, I think that's just been the issue for them.
Here's Hannah Walsh. Long throw searching for Davis, but Bidwell will see that one across the line. The wind probably favouring the Lions attacking end in this half. It was certainly a factor in the earlier game. And we'll see if that certainly impacts things today. It won't be quite as windy as Devonport's last outing. That a 3-2 win over Launceston United in what was just nightmarish conditions for the goalkeepers.
There's been a couple of them up at Birch Avenue this season. I remember in the men's competition, just a massive breeze. United almost got over the top of strikers. But yeah, it's certainly a little bit breezy, and it's an Arctic wind today. It feels like it's coming straight off Antarctica, and but it is favouring one of the ground. The under-21 certainly evidenced that as well.
Hardy sliding in to take it away from Walsh, but keeps a hold of it, then squares it up to Kanagisa. Kanagisa has Tilly Wills in support, couldn't quite find her, has repelled away, now swung out towards the dangerous foot. Should be cut off and is seen away. Going to be their sister Lucy Foote, Georgia King. Really important players for the Strikers, and quite a few young players in the team, but plenty of experience in big games from those two. And they're match winners.
I think they've been building a really nice balance to the squad. I think they've spoken a lot about a change-up of style this season under Tom Ballantyne coming across to coach both senior teams up at Devonport and be a little bit more possession-focused. But yeah, they've got that really experienced players. He's one of them now, and King on the ball. But also equally likes of Grace Sims, who's very young but has a lot of talent. You can see that. Their pace trying to put a bit of pressure on now.
It's Eloise Payne just being pressured on the ball there. Wanting hard there, Sims. It'll be a Kingborough Lions throw.
Yeah, Payne, an interesting player as well this season for Kingborough. A little bit unsung, but very solid at the back, and formed a really nice partnership with Anna Fuchs, who's come across from the Zebra's old side. And fairly young centre-back partnership, but a good one. And Davis is on the ball, and that's a nice little ball back in. Doesn't find Lashmar and come away with the Strikers. It's a bit of a dangerous ball in the middle. Sims can't get there either. Here is Payne. And she'll just single it back into the middle, and it just doesn't really find any players at all, and there's a bit of space for Capel.
Long ball for Hardy. Tough customer, Hardy. Sliding in again, seen away from her though. The Lions just starting to get the instruments out for the first time today. Expecting a very vocal crowd here, Alex.
Yeah, the Ultras behind the goal. They've been a feature of the NPL this season, an occasional WSL game. Yeah, it's going to be like that all day. It is good to see they bring a bit of atmosphere to Tassie football. And it's going to be interesting to see how they've sort of set up this ground for the Cup final. It's nice to see a lot more seating up on the hill there and down on the far side as well.
Yeah, they've done a good job with it, and I imagine it's going to only get more packed throughout the afternoon. Plenty of Lions faithful here. I put it to both their senior coaches on Friday. Is this the biggest day in the club's history? And both tended to agree. You've got two senior teams in the big cup finals, having not won them. And then you add in the fact you're hosting it at your home ground, basically, with KG5 out of action, and they were not shying away from the enormity of the occasion.
Yeah, I mean, my football knowledge only probably dates, I don't know how far back, but you'd have to say definitely in the sort of WSL kind of state leagues sort of era, for sure, biggest day in the club's history. And you can see they are building something in both sides, and yeah, a real positive vibe around the place, which is good to see.
The Lions, the Kanagisa, seen away from her once more. And they'll get the throw in Walsh. Doesn't mind the long throw, Hannah Walsh, and she launches this one in the air just over the head of Davis, who'll try and track it down. Anderson first to the ball.
It's just a slightly dicey, like, air swing at it from Holly Emmett there. Nothing to be, but didn't think Davis had a chance of getting there. She almost did, and Crystal Moore, just such a hard worker. She comes away with a good tackle, robbing Lucy Foote of it, pokes it through, can't find teammate. Bit of a battle on this near side, and then into King, and now Abby White. It's Hannah Walsh. That's going to be a good battle today. Walsh with a big tackle, and we get back through to Wheels. Another big tackle from Hannah Walsh. He started with energy. Balls to no one in particular, but it almost finds its way through to Lashmar. And Emmett is misjudging a few high bouncing balls. Kanagisa, ooh, handball call. Just maybe didn't have enough time to react there.
Yeah, probably a natural position for mine. Don't mind that from the referees. Maddie Payne skips through midfield, finds Foot. Just dwells on the ball a moment. Back to Hardy. Turns it to Lucy Foot. Kanagisa working back. Flicked onwards. Offside flag's been raised. It's seen away by Eloise Payne. And a pretty good start so far from the Lions. They seem to have settled the better of the two teams for mine.
Yeah, it's no team really on top at the moment. It's not really doesn't have that big, like one team's going to be playing defensively on the counter. It looks like both teams are going to try and play, and I think that'll will be sort of one in that midfield area. Two of my favourite players in the league, Abby White, who's made the challenge there, and Han Walsh. I think that's going to be a really good one for anyone who likes to watch or players linked play and do defensive work as well. Box-to-box midfielders, really classy, both of them.
This one's seen like Davis couldn't quite connect. Tilly Wills scrapping about. Looking forward to seeing what she can do. Had a massive impact off the bench against South Hobart in a thumping win, and she's finally fit and going. Could be a real weapon for the Lions today in attack. Just adding another to go with the likes of Davis, Kanagisa, Lashmer. Coach spoke about previous years. Yeah, Kingborough was probably been a bit too dependent on Laura Davis. It's been Davo or bust, but this year just a bit more versatility in attack, a few more threats, and it just makes them a whole lot tougher to shut down.
Yeah, I think that's been a big issue. Like even commentating a lot of games last season, I think that Davis can get a little bit isolated, and then she thinks she just has to bull the way to the goal. But it's not always on, and she just needs to have a bit more teammate support.
It's a dangerous ball in towards Sims. On the ground it's played. Sims goes in again, and Hennessy just thumps it clear.
I sense the girls are really up for this one. There's challenges flying in everywhere, and already a really high intensity this one. Anna Walsh and Christopher Moore are absolutely sprinting around in the middle before they can go to the full 90 and potentially 120 today.
Yeah, wouldn't rule out 120. It is a tightly matched cup final, especially with the Whitney Knight omission. It was close down here. Devonport 6 points clear on top, but they've not been blowing sides away in the Super League by any means. No,
and I think that Knight omission is a hard one, especially in a game like this. One, she's got a lot of experience, but two, you can just pass her the ball in pretty much any situation and just trust her to create something, retain possession, and just without that and replacing it with a little bit more inexperience, maybe not quite as much quality, it's going to be a little bit of a different look, and you think they might have to play just a little bit more direct today.
Georgia King over this dead ball. One of the best dead ball specialists in the state and has been for a long time. Always going to be a threat. 3 in the wall, a mark of the respect for what she can do as she pounds it straight into Tilly Wills in that wall. So the third member of the wall's done the job well. Probably be feeling that one a little bit, mind you.
Yeah, I don't know. If you get into these sort of coaching spaces, there's a lot of arguments about, do you even have a wall from that sort of range? A lot of keepers would just say, no, I'd actually prefer just to try and save it from out there. But paying off that time, so...
Just wanted to protect against Georgia King. Maybe just trying to sneak one in near stiff from range. Allow your keeper to just cover the back post to go out for it.
Yeah, don't let her settle on even putting a cross in as well. You know, make it harder. So yeah, good on Kingborough for putting that in place.
There's a slip almost led into the dangerous Lashmer, but Emmett able to recover the situation. Dangerous moment. This Sims is there, taken away by Howe. Knocks it back. Lashmer again breaking up the play. So just a couple of moments of threat on the counter from the strikers here, bursting with speed.
Yeah, I think with that Knight, as I was saying before, that change with Knight not being here, and putting Sims right up top as well, using her pace. She's got a lot of pace to get in behind. And again, we called a few weeks ago in South Hobart, and Devonport, just tremendous all day really, but Grace Sims showed her pace and showed her finishing quality for a young player. So they'll be looking to play in her a bit more than they probably usually would when, you know, we're talking about last year. It was sort of moved towards this possession-based style. I think maybe they won't be all guns blazing in that direction today.
Kanagisa lobs forward. Bidwell was there, chips it and repelled once more. Wills back to Kanagisa. Kanagisa passes no man's land. Davis looking towards it, but the strikers everywhere. Here's King, just classily skips clear of Davis. Always controlling things at the back, Georgia King. Sullivan back to Bidwell, who plays with a maturity well beyond her years. Star player. Foot. Ooh. Dangerous looking ball out to the back post. And McIntosh comes out and collects. It was just about dealt with there.
That was a really nice ball from Lucy Foot, just on this angle. That beautiful cross-field switch from an advanced position. And Kappa was steaming in at the back stick. She did well to challenge it. And Moore and Wiley able to figure it out just in the end. And Devonport just starting to get on top a little bit here. A few physical challenges flying in, which at least suits them a little bit more. The likes of Hardy, who's on the ball now. And she'll just swing it back to Annalie Bidwell, who will dictate play from defence. And here's Foot again. She turns, cuts inside. Ball to Payne. And Foot again. Sullivan will get there and skew her clearance. I think that looked like it was a cross for me. I didn't say clearance from there, but it ended up being a clearance. Yeah, cross come shot. Nothing to be for the Strikers, but yeah, energetic start from Kingborough for the first couple of minutes. It looks like Devonport getting Lucy Foot a bit more on the ball. Bidwell starting to dictate play.
Certainly looking more threatening in the last couple of minutes, aren't they? As Bidwell battles away with Walsh, and Bidwell wins that duel, and now looks to spring them forward. Sends it to Payne. Payne with a shot from distance and fizzes it wide at the post. Not too far off.
Yeah, not a bad effort. More, McIntosh was over on the other side of her goal, so would have had absolutely no chance at all if that one has seeing eyes into the bottom corner. But didn't seem to panic. The Lions keeper, who is generally quite a cool customer, so she'll get us back underway. Decent kick up. It's headed down by Capel, and big win by Abby White, who's barging through the middle and left a Lions player in her wake. She's still down with a head injury, and will be stopped for that. Doesn't look like, yeah, doesn't look like a good one that's worn. I'm just trying to identify which player is actually on the ground there. She's up now.
Moore, I think.
Yeah, Christabel Moore.
No stranger to those type of situations. She's a gritty midfielder.
Yeah.
She'll work hard, she'll get stuck in, but also has a fair bit of craft and finesse to her game too. A really well-balanced player, Moore, and having a good season in there.
Straight back into it there with the challenge.
She's right in front of the travelling Strikers faithful assembling on the far side over there.
Banner out there, they'll rival the Kingborough Ultras behind the goal.
You usually travel well for these occasions. Payne looking to get in, but cleared away, deflected clearance. Sims, in nuisance of herself. Carnegie's only so far as Hardy. Now King loves a shot from range, and she's brought down. And a free kick in Georgia King territory.
I think Georgia King sold that one a little bit, and she's just saying to Hannah Walsh, look, I'm gonna try and earn one there. And I think she was like, oh, this is the sort of range that I would like to get a free kick from. So she's just lining it up herself now as well.
Yeah, look, she did go down quite easily. There is no doubt there. And we've seen time and time again down the years, Georgia King doing the business from 25 yards plus from set pieces. So it wouldn't shock. How will she go here? It's King driving low. Didn't really connect with it as she would have liked. Easy pick up there for McIntosh.
Yep, that's just a sider for King. So I won't want to give her too many of those. Did find the target, but yeah, nothing really going to challenge the Kingborough goal. So they've just sort of had to settle back into a slightly more defensive position. You can see Kanagisa is a very versatile player. She's holding midfield, so they're playing sort of a double pivot today, Kingborough, if they need to, as Sims trying to weave something, but it's well done by Fuchs, who's just using her body well. And Eloise Payne will move it away.
Interesting, that Kanagisi role. She's played so many roles down the years. I remember one cup final, she basically had a tagging job as a right winger on Maddie Chambers. She plays as a striker and scored 2 on another occasion, and today she's in midfield.
Yeah, I've seen her play left wing this year quite a bit in midfield today. Here's White though, and Sims has got a decent opportunity. Sims with a shot and straight at the keeper. Quick little counter attack, good run through by Abby White, and nice little dink through to Sims. Didn't quite catch it. That's really probably the best chance so far today.
Yeah, first real clear open side of goal there. McIntosh protecting the near post well. Just get it quite across the body. Here's Sullivan. It's the striker starting to assert themselves on this contest a little. Sam Hardy. Back to Sullivan. Coughs it up. Walsh will shield. Lashma. Tamagiza. Back to Hennessy. Now Laura Davis. Brings it down. We'll look to try and get some teammates involved. Springing ball out the back to Tilly Wills. Anderson gets on a bike, gets there, misses the clearance, gave it straight to Moore. Didn't quite connect with the shot. The keeper off a line. An opportunity there, perhaps, for the Lions.
Well, had more time than she thought, I think, more. Like, it's just one of those ones you think, oh, the keeper's off the line, keeper's off the line. It just needed to bring that one down and get a better purchase on it. But that was a really nice raking pass out wide from Davis and put Devonport under the pump for sure. And so maybe what they're going to be looking for, those sort of more direct counter-attacks so far. Here's a cross in, and doesn't get to its intended target, but it will just be fielded back there and not found its way through. And Sims is doing a bit of dirty defensive work and can't find her attacking partners in Maddie Payne. Abby White, nice triangle, big spin from Payne. Tries to play White through again. It's a right sort of ball, but just a little bit too much gas on it, a little bit too wide. And out of play effectively by Hennessy.
Silky little spin there from Maddie Payne. I like that.
Yeah, bringing the tricks out already.
Fine attacking player, Maddie Payne. Scored plenty of goals over the past couple of seasons. And with no Jasmine White in the mix this year. Had to step up in that regard. She volleys this one. It would have been a spectacular goal. Just slipped as she hit it. And in the end through to McIntosh. The game opening up at the moment.
Yeah, it's a little bit end-to-end. It's an interesting high ball. Isn't fielded by anyone in particular, but does find its way down to a striker's set of feet. And White and Hardy will just tick it over in the midfield. The Cappell. And they're not getting a lot of space in these sorts of areas, the strikers. They're allowed to have it a little bit at the back four, and as soon as it's progressed up into sort of this final third area, it's hammer and tongs over Wiley right there.
Another opportunity for some set-piece work here. Georgia King. Plenty of bodies up there in the Kingborough Lions box for Devonport. We've got 6 up in the area. Great ball! Even better header! White opens the scoring with a brilliant header and an even better celebration! That'll ignite the strikers. What a goal, what a celebration. 1-0 Devonport.
Beautiful ball in from Georgia King, and Abby White, she's got the height and just nodded it in. As cool as you like. She's rhyming there. But I'm still a bit in shock from the round-off backflip to celebrate it.
The acrobatic show.
Did not know she had that in her locker. But straight away, yep, good goal, cup final, yep. Get it going. 1-0 Devonport.
How was the delivery from King too? Fizzed it in, middle of the box, and just a perfect glancing header from White. We talked about the threat they posed from set pieces. Well, there it was. And Devonport get the breakthrough. Did feel like a goal had been coming in the minutes leading up to it. It's certainly been far from the cagey opening you see in many cup finals.
Yeah, it's been energetic, and then, Devonport able to just sort of stamp their authority on the game, even before the goal, just in terms of possession. But as we said, just giving Georgia King a few too many siders at it, and that was a nice little bullet right on the head of Abby White. And again, just that physicality that Devonport tend to have. And White, I don't know if she's the tallest player in the WSL, just from the eye test, but she'd be up there for sure. So very hard to mark in those sorts of situations, and it was a good run and good finish. Kingborough here might have an opportunity of their own. Hannah Walsh is quite the dead ball deliverer as well. She puts a decent one in, and it's almost straight in the back of the net. It was almost an immediate response. I think Laura Davis was right there as well, almost bundled it in. I don't know if that was a direct shot. I think that was just looking for Davis at the back post, but it wasn't far away, and that could have been an instant response.
Yeah, it's a fizzing ball. It had some serious heat on it. To the back post. Keeper was out of the picture. Davis couldn't quite get there, but Hannah Walsh certainly every bit of threat from set pieces. The King is at the other end. That's an awful mess that Anderson's got in. Cleared it straight to Davis. Got lucky there. Second time today Anderson's just coughed one up with the feet, and that was nearly disastrous. Just a bit too much venom on it. Pinged off of Davis, but to tidy up those passes out of the back, the strikers.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a revolving door, that Devonport goalkeeping position this year. Sam Hardy having to play in goals as a reserve at times, so maybe just a few cobwebs to sort of kick out at the sort of step straight into the Statewide Cup final was a bit of a big step up, but they get away with that one there. But Kingborough able to control things. And Lashmar's in some space here. But she's got a one-on-one with Bidwell. Sullivan's tracking back hard. Lashmar goes in early. Does find its way to the back post. It's Wills with the shot. It's a big block from King. Important block from Georgia King, right laid across the ground. Big sliding challenge. And she hit it pretty well. And Lions have been fired up by that goal. They've responded well.
They have. They're looking to get right back at him. Georgia King just body on the line there, just flung herself in the path. Made a great block. Wills denied, but another set piece opportunity. It'll be Lashman to take it. Laura Davis offering the short option. Just at the edge of the box. Walsh lurking outside the area for any rebounds. She was in a low one near post. It was fortunate in the end to get another crack at it as Bidwell quite deal with it, so she'll go again for a little bit better delivery this time. The wind is swirling a bit, so if she can get up there on the keeper, it's not going to be an easy one to deal with. Takes it short to Davis instead. Davis looks to skip round one. Back out. Lashma swung in towards Kanagisa, steered away. Cleared to Capel. And now Payne, and the strikers now look to break. She's got foot in advance of her. That's where she heads, making a one-busting run. Walsh should track the whole way back, though. Clears it and somehow stays in. Davis likewise working back in defence. Strikers on the attack, though, through Payne. Is that going to be a free kick? Free says throw in.
That was ball first from Laura Davis, who's coming back to defend. But yeah, it's been a really nice response from Kingborough. Interesting sort of set piece setup though. Lashmar over it, Walsh at the top of the box, and Davis not in the box. So they obviously got some plans that might not make sense to me straight here, but just trying to change up some different looks, I guess. And yeah, because I think Walsh might have scored an Olympico a couple of weeks ago, wasn't I? Confusing that with another.
No, she did against South Hobart at Darcy Street. Perhaps just looking, well, she's so capable from outside the box. Anything cleared away with a clearing header, she'll be there just to smash it right back in, would probably be the thinking. But
true.
Yeah, certainly, took advantage of the Olympico from the corner. Devonport attacking once more here. Sims. White, the goal scorer. Hardy. Lions Park back here. Foot. Now Sullivan. Patience as they go to Bidwell. She's just going to recycle it out the back to King. Georgia King looks to switch it up for Capel. Capel trying to spring a run here of Sims, but finds only Erica McIntosh.
She's wanted to attack that one. She's a very active goalkeeper. A few slips here and there today. And I think players have underestimated kind of how damp. The pitch is in good nick. It's just a little bit slippery, so the long stops wouldn't go astray. But here's Lashmar. She's finding some space again. She's been lively out here on the wing, but that's in no one's real general vicinity. And only Bidwell will just chest it down and put it out of play. But it will give Kingborough another go at it. Moore's in an acre here in the middle of the park. Foot will come and press, and Moore will get it back. And now she can use that space, go wide, and a little bit of a half volley for Emmett, and deals with it pretty well. And Payne, with a 50-50 sort of challenge, a lot of contact from Wiley, over-infringing there from Payne. He's been a good target for them so far today. She's had to be physical, but You can see there that she's up for the challenge.
Yeah, a couple of times she's dropped in well and received the ball with that spin and then draws a free kick doing a similar thing there. As this one's launched long. Moore should cut it out, does so, but coughed it up to White. Kind of Geezer. Got a lot of support. Now Lashma driving it for Davis. Can Laura Davis get on the end of this? King seemingly has it under control at the back there. Chips it wide for Sullivan. Sullivan broken up by Lashma. Now Kanagiza from range, but didn't catch it with any real power. Comfortable catch for Georgia Anderson.
For half a second I thought they had the exact right trajectory to go top bins, but yeah, just not enough on it. A little bit of backspin and just harmlessly into the keeper's gloves. Maybe Foot is on the attack. It's a bit of a shout for a handball almost, but we'll play on. Is Sims. She'll be trying to weave her way through the middle. 1-2 with Payne. It's a bit behind her, but Hardy following up well. And Walsh will just chop it out of play and recollect their breath. Yeah, Lions been a little bit better since the goal's been in for sure, but I think Devonport just often offer such a constant threat, and they are controlling it a bit further up. Definitely have a bit more momentum in this game. The ball goes forward for Sullivan and just runs out of play in that shade. It's a really nice sunny day, but you can see the crowd, they're all in that shade now. If you're in that shade, it is bitterly cold. I think for the players, it's going to be okay once they get warm. And it seems like that wind is sort of swirling around a bit further out. They're on that far side.
Yeah, not too bad for this one. I think come Lacquer Cup final, it's going to be very icy down here at the Den. But the battle on the field will certainly be arranging red hot as this one just runs past Kanagiza. Working hard is Walsh. Charges onto this one, Walsh. She's got Davis in the middle. Wills at the back post. Goes looking for Davis. Can't quite find her. And White steers away to Foot. Foot now sends it down the line for Sims to give chase. And across to deal with the threat there was Fuchs. He's been solid in the Lions' defence this season. Quickly taken throw for Sullivan. She's got Payne in the box, giving her an option. Sullivan chinks back inside, try to find Foot. Lashmer on hand just to whisk it clear.
Yeah, all hands on deck for the Lions at the current moment. They've been very happy to commit players back. I think they're very aware of what's sort of happening and the amount of defensive work that they will have to do. Equally, they'll just have to make sure that they are pushing towards that response and intention to get a goal. They did come back from 1-0 down in that recent game down here at the Den, and I'd say somewhat unfortunately it was a bit of Lucy Foot magic on the back heel to kind of set up the second goal to win the Strikers the game, but they would have taken immense confidence from being able to score from 1-0 down against the Strikers.
As Foot springs it through for Maddie Payne. That's a good ball. Payne on Payne. It was Eloise who won that battle. Just seeing it away from Maddie.
Just got the foot in. Yes, that's an important challenge. And that's the sort of threat that Devonport are posing. They're playing some good stuff at the moment.
Here's White in the middle of the park. King. Capel working to get there, but Wiley got there first, and now they try and play it through for Davis, just behind her from Wills. King to her sister Lucy Foot. Nice ball for Maddie Payne. She goes with a little nutmeg, almost springs Sims in the hand at the back to deal with the threat. Emmett. Now Capel. Few from that undefeated Ulverston team in this lineup today. King, Foot, Anderson, Capel. So from the coast, no strangers to big occasions. A mix of old and new in this striker side. Plenty of young products, kind of teenagers, but there's just that spattering of real experience too.
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of, I guess when the Strikers sort of popped up in the WSL, they were able to kind of grasp a lot of that talent from up there, has sort of become the new hub, and combine that with some of the infrastructure they've sort of been building behind their men's program. And a lot of young players, I think they want to throw their support behind. So yeah, it's definitely a good mix for a team to make a title push and also to be in a cup final. That's a bit of a turnover. Walsh will tee it up and she'll hit the back of the net. It's Hannah Walsh with a long bomb. Just a bit of a mix-up at the back for Devonport. We talked about that a little bit earlier as well. And Hannah Walsh, just a bit of a dead-eye when it comes to playing long passes and long shooting as well.
Well, they got away with two. Anderson misplaced it. The third time she was not going to, because she passed it straight to the most dangerous player on the park in plenty of space. There was only ever going to be one result. Hannah Walsh looked up, could not believe her fortune, and said, I'm going to send that right back over your head. It's 1-1 in the cup final. Hannah Walsh takes advantage. A bit of a howler at the back there, and the lines are on terms.
Yeah, that's a bit of a let-off, I'd say, for Devonport, letting Kingborough back into the game, and just a pinpoint little chip over the top. Really, no worries at all for Hannah Walsh, and yeah, that's going to be just something they're just going to have to manage now. And it's one of those things that I think if that happened in a league game, you're like, okay, we'll just keep working on that. But they just have to, as the offside flag goes up, they just have to sort that out today, to be honest, and potentially nerves creep in about playing it back to your keeper. Yeah,
and the keeper yourself. I mean, it's you can be on an absolute island in that position at times. Mentally, probably the toughest position on the pitch to play, especially in a cup final when you know you've made an error that's cost your side a goal. You got to dial in from that point. Try and have a goldfish type memory. Just forget that one. On to the next, but easier said than done. As this one's whipped up towards Wills. Emmett defending the situation nicely. Takes it away.
I do kind of wonder if this does occur one or two more times in the game, whether they do sort of smash glass in case, break glass in case of needing Sam Hardy potentially to just make some sort of other sub. I mean, you wouldn't do that now, of course. It's way too early in the game, but something to think about.
Yeah, Anderson, look, on paper, it looked a good in. They've got plenty of good performances in her back pocket. I'm sure she'll bounce back as Payne worked off the ball here, lunged in and recovered the situation well. Up towards Wills, nods on, tries to go around the outside of Emmett. Emmett shielding the ball, and then skips around her. Nicely done there by Holly Emmett. And down the line to Capel, threads it for Payne. Payne building nicely, has foot. That's where she heads. It's going to be foot back inside to Maddie Payne. Some room to shoot perhaps. It's Maddie Payne. That didn't hit it with any real conviction. And again, McIntosh able to get that one comfortably.
Just a little bit too much pressure applied, but again, Payne finding herself in some decent areas. As Devonport will go forward again. And we'll go into Sims, who's been pretty lively to start this game, really trying to link play as well as be a threat in behind. Hardy and Kanagisa, two experienced players, will challenge for that one. And we go the way of Devonport. Holly Emmett will play it forward. And big challenge by Moore. Just loves that sort of physical play. And they'll try and release Davis. And this is pretty classic Kingborough. Find Davis in a fair bit of space. She does have Lashmar in the middle. She'll cut it back though to the top. Moore gets there first, gets a little shoved down. No foul. And Emmett able to do enough to step on the ball and say, all right, we'll just try and calm that one down, but ends up playing it out for a throw. And we're getting a little bit of unneeded pressure on the team.
The Lions on the attack here by Laura Davis. Emmett marking it tightly. Davis trying to skip through the middle. Just cleared out of there. Did well. Kept in by Wills. Capel. It's going to White. Gets around Kanagisa. Good composure there from White. Comfortably trying to play their way out, but it's one back again on the brilliant Hannah Walsh, who steps up and has a few options. Decides to just go around the outside of White, who stretched out those long levers of hers and just saw it away. Not going to shut that down, but Pressure continuing to build, squaring it up towards Kanagisa, off the head of Hardy. Might fall for Lashma. It's going to dip, but over the bar.
A bit of a speculative opportunity, but almost span its way in. Yeah, good forward pressure. Hannah Walsh doing a lot of dirty work in there. She's using her body well and able to keep it in there. And Devonport not able to play through, but they will this time. They'll find Payne, and she's got more for company. Right the other side of her, and she'll go and collect it again, and now spread it wide. Lashmar try and cut inside and shoot early. Probably just trying things from a little bit too far out, Cara Lashmar at this point. She hasn't scored a few good goals, especially last season. She was on form. I think that Watkins-Lashmar duo was a very exciting one. Slightly different role this season, and I think just has to just work with Davis a little bit more to get those slightly better opportunities that they'll need today.
Moore looks it back for Fuchs. There is Cara Lashmar. Kanagisa, first time release, trying to spring Hennessy. He's worked hard. Sullivan just puts a foot in to put it out of play. So the Lions will get the throw up the pitch here.
Yeah, right sort of ball over the top for Kanagisa, and gets to put him under pressure. Is Davis, surrounded by 3 Strikers players. But Kanagisa will collect, and she'll have to get it back, and now they'll look to switch if they can. Fuchs goes kind of early, but there wasn't anyone really wide enough, but they will collect again. Here's Walsh, knifing her way through the middle now. She does have 2 feet. She'll go back to her right foot, though. And Hardy reads that well with a big sliding challenge and almost collected a player. Walsh with the shots and catches it okay, but just a little bit too straight. And Kingborough, since that goal's gone in, just giving a little bit of confidence, and they're really starting to put some pressure on Devonport.
Yeah, you can see there's a real lift in this playing group at the moment. They'll be looking to try and find another one before the half-time break here. Take advantage of this little lull from the Strikers. All the momentum at the moment. Kanagisa for Hennessy, just a slightly heavy touch, and it's out of play.
Yeah, Kanagisa getting on the ball though now, and that's always a good sign, especially she's in that midfield position. Just a smart player. We'll just give the ball back to you if you're in space, and nods that one on well. Here's Davis with the shots. And they're starting to pepper the goals a little bit, Kingborough. Again, probably a little bit too far out, but they're two not... Like, they caught both of those shots pretty well, Walsh and Davis. But again, it's going to take something very special to do something from there. Yeah,
she's been a bit uncertain with her feet, Anderson, but she's a very good shot stopper and very comfortable with those type of shots. I'm going to catch her out with that as Walsh sends it along. No one down there in that corner, though. So we tick towards the half-time break, one apiece in this cup final. We thought it was going to be a tight affair, and so it's proved here. Both teams have had little periods in the ascendancy. It's a good battle developing here. This one's not into the middle.
I thought for a second when Maddie Payne almost went through on goal, now 1-0 up, I was like, okay, maybe 2-0 in the first half. That's a pretty big display of dominance, but they've just let Kingborough back in the game a little bit, and to their credit, they're playing a lot better too. So it's been a really nice, tight game of football so far.
Lashmar whacks that one into the signage over there. Emmett with the throw. Payne. Back to Emmett. Deflected ball towards Sims. Now Foot looking to get in, but Moore got there first. Sent forward, but no one there for the Strikers. Bidwell at the back. Sullivan. Hardy. White back to Emmett. Some good possession here from the Strikers as they move it around, probing away.
Kingborough just made a little small tactical shift with Kanagisa coming out on the left and Lashmar going into the middle. So they're just going to rotate those positions a little bit. And as we were talking about earlier, that versatility that Kanagisa has is always good. I think I wouldn't want to keep her out of the engine room too long, but maybe just to try and spark something up there or give her a little bit of a break throughout the games to use her in short spurts would be interesting.
Yeah, such an experienced customer, as we said pre-game. The 7th cup final, pretty remarkable record, Danielle Kanagisa. 4 wins, 2 losses in amongst those. Looking to win one for the Lions today. Last time she lined up in one was when she sunk the Lions, broke their hearts. They've have got to the final a couple of times in recent years, the Lions, and just fallen short. They're looking to turn that around here today. I'm sure that'll be motivating a few of the players. There's still 3 or 4 who are involved in that last cup defeat. Fair bit of turnover. Certainly someone like Laura Davis up top who basically carried them to those finals. She'll be very, very eager indeed as foot to pain. She just puts it into open field, wanting a run from Sullivan. Kanagisa awake to that. It's a cross. Sullivan turns away from her. Shut down by Hennessy. Hardy back to Bidwell, almost lets in. Davis does so. It's Laura Davis hearing off towards the goals. Going away. Bidwell just gets a foot in and saves the day. Davis was looming large there.
We're just saying how she carried Kingborough to those cup finals. That was classic Laura Davis, just nicking it in behind. Cutting in on that right foot. She did Georgia King all ends uppers. That's a bit of a cynical challenge from Lucy Foote. I think that's a hard one for Moore, who's been in the wars today, to wear another one of those. But yeah, that for a second I was like, oh, yep, you give it Davis the ball in that area one-on-one. Oh, geez, you're lucky to get away with it. And they do get away with it this time.
Bidwell back to provide the support for King. It quite often does take 2 to stop her. So Walsh will look to fizz another one in here. Slips, however, as she kicks it, and rather disrupts the delivery and might leave them a little bit vulnerable to a counter-attack if they could find Sims, but she couldn't quite control the ball.
Yeah, there's that slip over again. I would say if anyone does have the medals listening in the NPL game later, or the girls at half-time, put them on. It does get a little bit slippery down here. I just feel like it's quite dewy, and it doesn't, because it's in the shadow of the mountain. Having played a fair bit of football down at here and at Gormley, it does have a bit of like kind of greasiness to the, almost to the mud, so the girls just dealing with that a little bit today.
So they storm down the flank here. It's Emmett charging forward for the Strikers. Across comes Moore, wins it. Crucial challenge. Gee, she's covering some territory today and gives a little bit to the opposition too. She's fired up for Isabella Moore.
Yeah, she's just eaten a few big bumps and give one back of her own. She's that sort of customer.
She's got some more defending to do here. Can't prevent the corner though.
Georgia King coming up for this one again. White and Hardy, Bidwell also coming up. It's where they originally went one up, so can they extend that? Well, no longer lead, but can they do it again?
Looks like Hennessy will mark White.
Moore's being a one-person wall over there in the corner as well. Goes up and over the top from Abby White, who is the danger woman in there. Almost did it again. Didn't have quite the run on it this time and got underneath it. But nice in swinging delivery again from King. Seems to have her eye in now. And, yep, I think at half-time, Cam Hazelwood's got to be like, figure out exactly what we're doing to stop Abby White in these set pieces. Block her off, or just try and get maybe an Anna Fuchs type, who's a little bit taller, to mark her up.
Maybe bracket her with Fuchs and Hennessy or something like that, one either side, and just try there, at least make it. She might have the height advantage, but it's a standing jump, not a leap as it's over the top to Foot. This looks dangerous. Lucy Foot in the area, squaring ball. White with the shot, parried away by McIntosh. Still a chance here for Capel. Back across the face, and Fuchs clears it. Still though, it's Maddie Payne looking to get onto the right, but Walsh clears away. Great save, McIntosh, and they keep it at 1-1.
They had a fair bit of whip on it, and she's read it well in the end. That would have been very hard to read. It sort of looked like it was almost not going to be on target at all, and then just really had a nice bit of curl on it. Abby White just been good today already, and almost found another one, and shows she can do it with her head and with her feet, and that's a big save on the verging towards half-time here.
Yeah, in stoppage time in the first half now. The Strikers looking for a lead to take into the sheds, but authoritatively away by Walsh. Davis has got 3 to beat, but she's more than capable. She takes off here, Laura Davis. She's running here at Bidwell. Support arriving in the form of Kanagisa. Lunging in Sullivan. And the referee has blown for half-time, has he? He's blown the half-time whistle.
Oh,
wow.
right.
Hey.
I thought he was giving a free kick to Devonport there. I was like, how?
Yes.
I was like, that's either a free kick to Kingborough or it's play on.
No, Davis down. No free kick, play on, half-time.
Oh, could have released Kanagisa there for a second, but she's not back Davis to take it herself there, and has to wear one on the shin for her efforts, and probably almost a good thing that half-time's up so she can just recover from that one. A little bit sore coming off now. Yeah,
well done, Sullivan. Stood up there and got the ball, or at least enough of the ball in the referee's view to save the day and keep things level at half-time. Both teams coming very close to a lead. What a cracking first 45 that was, Alex.
Yeah, been really good. Lots of energy from both teams. Good play from both teams. Somewhat fortuitous goal for Kingborough, you'd have to say, but equally well taken by Walsh. And, good value for 1-1. And, I'm excited for the second half. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams looking more than capable. It should be a really good second 45. There may even be a course for extra time if it remains this tight. We'll see. We'll be back in around about a quarter of an hour's time with the second half from Lightwood Park. Half-time in the Women's Statewide Cup Final. It's Kingborough Lions 1, Devonport 1.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get some sun while I'm here.
Not a bad idea, Alex.
I'll have them.
He's the cameraman with bigger
Yeah.
You can put your hands in your pockets.
Nah,
Oh, sure. Basically, there's no mini kind of handles. You can shake and warm up less than mini heat packs for the last several hours. Yeah. So I can cut my own gloves and that will. Yeah, sure. If it doesn't get close, we'll just give it a shake.
I actually might do that with enough time. He's done the extra time, mate. I do.
Hot hands.
fake explosive to the air a little bit, and then
Ah, yeah, that's
people like to put it in the pocket and stuff, and shaking it out. Generally, once they're all blown up, doing work. CEO, mate.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't too sure.
Doing a bit more of the work your runs the
I
job.
wasn't too sure if he was I think he was doing media with you and what's that?
Yeah, no, he's the big one your runs. He's busy schmoozing with Andrew. Yeah.
Already got told my friend one of the thing I when I was
You tried to sneak up.
just trying to get on the beach and then just like, I was thinking, it's kind of ironic how they've done it, because it's like, saving the area. And, oh, yeah. How did you enjoy when you did downhill? Adventure or something?
drink bottle. It's crazy. They're almost like more. It's almost more hot than when it was poured it in. We also have to send Emma a player of the match. We'll just figure that out when we do it. Do you want me to send it or? We had enough time anyway to quickly. Yeah.
And we're just about ready to go here in the second half of the Women's Statewide Cup Final. One apiece after 45 minutes. It was Abby White who opened the scoring with a towering header. Hannah Walsh answering back, chipping the keeper after a turnover at the back to square things up. It's been a compelling contest thus far. What are you expecting out of this second half, Alex Murray?
I just have to agree with you there. It's been a really, compelling game so far, and really all the sort of big players or ones that I've at least had my eye on really stood up and really contributed. So it's more of that really, and I'm hoping that competition that's been on display, especially in the latter half of that first half, will continue. Anyone's game, I would say. Devonport, I would probably shade as the favourites, but Kingborough, no mugs, and have played fairly well throughout the game. So they do get back underway for this second half of the Women's Statewide Cup Final.
Should be the more favourable enders. An early shot here comes in from Capel, but spinning comfortably into the gloves of McIntosh. Yeah, the wind probably at their backs here in the second half, Devonport, which should aid them. Certainly both sides were creating throughout the first 45. Who can take their chances here as Lashmer leads the counter-attack back the other way. She's got room to move here, Cara Lashmer. Davis in the middle, it's over her head. Tilly Wills attacking the back post. Will get a hold of this one, tries to take it past Emmett, but Emmett blocking off the path to the ball. Walsh charging that one down and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, high energy start. Good run up the wing from Lashmar, who's been lively today. That was probably her best delivery so far. Had a nice bit of height on it. Just over the head of Davis still, but really the right sort of area that they want. And this is where Devonport have had a little bit of trouble today playing out. And King's ball is not the best one. It sort of ends up just being a clearance into the danger zone. And Walsh tries to play 1-2 with Wills. And it doesn't get through Emmett, who's been pretty solid out there today, at least defensively. And just chops that one out for a Kingborough throw. We'll start to see this shadow creep in and be a bit of a challenge in this second half, you'd think. I know the lights will probably come off at some point. It's a big long throw from Walsh. And followed up by Wills. I don't know if that was a shot. Maybe a little bit of a speculative one from that sort of range. But again, this is probably where they feel confident. I think almost, if when in doubt, put it out for a goal kick. And Devonport haven't had the answers, or haven't been that solid going yet, so they will just go long. And again, it's in that danger area for Walsh. It's up in the air. Davis runs at it. No free kick from Hardy, who takes a tumble. And Lashmar will just recycle.
Yeah, you suspect they'll be sweating on those goal kicks in this second half. I reckon Cam Hazelwood would have really highlighted that in his half-time team talk. Make sure we're really pressing up the pitch here. Where he got one goal from that. His foot sends it long. Sims. Fuchs across to Marshall. Inside for Foot. Now Samantha Hardy. Peeling out wide on the left is Capel. They go down the right for Sims, but see drifting into space on this near touchline.
I think for Devonport, they'll want to get Lucy Foote more involved in the game, really. She had a pretty quiet, by her standards, first half. Contributed here and there, but it's playing quite narrow and just hasn't had a lot of the ball, and they haven't been able to create through her. So Abby White bustling through and gets through about 2 Kingborough players. Does very well. And then Hardy will play her back in. Around the outside of her, though, and she has Eloise Payne for company. Payne just doing very well to read her. It's very hard to get around. It's light on her feet, bouncing, good defensive position. Very unassuming customer back there. Just seems like nothing really phases her. And it will be a Holly Emmett throw.
So Emmett, who's looking for Payne. Taken away from her. White back to Emmett. Sharp pass there. Emmett, some fancy footwork. Flicks it through for Capel. Squares it up. Sullivan tries to go around Lashmer. Now Hardy. She retreats back to Bidwell. Now Sullivan made that big, important tackle on Davis in the dying embers of the first half. Mull can't spring anyone. Crucial stop that was. Both teams coming very close to scoring in stoppage time in the first half. Could easily have been 2-1 either way. Broken up by White. Lofted over the top, trying to spring Capel. Pressures Payne. Always Payne. Good job just pressuring her there was Capel.
Devonport have just switched to a little bit more of a flexible formation themselves, so Foote's playing quite narrow, and they have Payne and Sims as almost like a front two, and one's dropping into midfield when needed. And you can sort of see that sometimes that almost becomes a front four when Foote pushes up out wide. So they're just trying to mix things up a little bit, I think, in the second half, strikers.
Emmett volleying it over the top. Nodded back, but turned it over straight to Sims. Sims for Payne. Payne onto her right. She can't quite get her foot around, wrap it around enough to bend it back, and sends it wide of the post. Bit of a dicey turnover there from Wiley.
Yeah, Kingborough just doing enough. It's solid back there, but without being spectacular. It was just enough to put Payne off. And McIntosh, his ball, sort of spotted someone out of the corner of her eye and sort of gets chased out by Lucy Foote. And now Devonport able to just keep the pressure on here.
Working up in midfield as Hardy tricks back to King. Sullivan keeps it in play. Foote. Hardy. Fuchs away to Hennessy. And the line for Lashman. And Sullivan steps in, blocks her off. A good battle, that one, so far this match. Davis looking to roll the centre back. King clears it. Quite catch that one. Foote coughs it up. Gives to Belmore. Quite congested in the middle here as it's nodded forward by White towards Payne. And they handle that one. And retreat back. All the way to McIntosh.
Well, another slip again. I just did have a little look at half-time just to see how slick it is. It does feel like there's almost been sprinklers on the ground, and there hasn't been. So it's nice for passing, but it is making it a little bit difficult for them out there. It's just it's a little bit of grease almost at the top of the grass, so making that footing a little bit unsure when people are going to kick the ball at times.
I think Danielle Canagises has been subbed out at half-time, by the way. He is just trying to figure out who was absent, because Amelia Howe's out there. I can't see Canagises. She was hobbled in the final few minutes that half, so it looks like Canagises' dreams of a fifth cup victory are now entirely in her teammates' hands. So that's a big blow for the Lions.
Yeah, massive. I guess that's why they made that switch out to play her a little bit up higher.
Dangerous ball headed, and it's just wide of the mark.
That'd be wide
directed. Had to be wide. They've had 3 corners. They've all gone straight to her head. Already scored from one.
Yeah, that was a better one than... Probably a better opportunity than she had on that second one. Had a chance to steady herself there and just directed it straight over the top. But yeah, that is a big change for for Kingborough, and that will make it a little bit harder for them in the midfield, you'd assume. And Devonport's starting to get on top in that area. Foot trying to work it through with Sims, and she'll hit it. And McIntosh with a diving save. This angle, it didn't look like that was that threatening, but it might have almost found the side netting.
It might have been bending back. Always want to be sure. Well captured anyway by McIntosh. That's just in the back there. King felt some contact, went down, and draws the decision from the referee. Experience being shown there by Georgia King.
Yeah, she's shown that ability a couple of times today, just being able to earn those free kicks when they've been there. Just make sure of them.
Yeah, no question it was there. Just make sure it's seen. Long ball's broken up. Hennessy, composed. He goes into the middle for Walsh. First time ball forward, can't find Davis. White has a pocket pick by Walsh and now plays the 1-2, then sends it for the run of the dangerous Lashman. Sullivan gets across, lost her footing, and handled the ball while she was on the deck.
It's one of those things after 21's game, not given. Well, it actually did get given in the end. But yeah, just good piece of play. I've been really impressed with Davis today. I feel like when I'm, not to be critical of a player that good, but when I think she could, one area I think she could improve on is just that little bit of extra link-up play, that passing game. And today she's had some excellent passing, one really good ball in behind, and that was a nice little 1-2 in the middle there.
Walsh! Just over the top.
She's dangerous from those. That was, yeah, not far away.
She did well, kind of help win that free kick with that one-busting run from defence all the way up to attack. And yeah, much like King, for the strikers, just get some real fizz and that flat, fast ball into the area. Tough one to deal with, and has an air swing there as the talker up at Walsh. And it spills out the back. And Capel in a little bit of space. Foot charging through the middle here to give her an option. Won't find her though, although it deflects off of Payne. Walsh working back, perhaps a high boot. Referee says nothing doing. Holly Emmett. That one off Tilly Wills. It'll be a striker's throw.
Yeah, and I just wonder whether with Kanayisa going out, whether that just sort of changes the equation a little bit for the Kingborough sort of coaching staff, whether you're trying to go a little bit more direct and play probably their more traditional style of try and play Davis and Lashmar in, or whether they just stick with the plan, or whether they're making sure that they stay in the game and focus on defence first. So there's a few different questions that change does pose to the team and how they're going to navigate that.
So Wiley with the throw, searching for Davis, surrounded by strikers. Tilly Wills tries to go through the legs of the couple, couldn't get it through King, and one back in the end there by Wills. Did well to win the ball from behind. And the striker's throw, and they'll be calling for a yellow for that after he just threw it away.
Yeah, I think just getting away with that, Ava Wiley. It wasn't the most egregious one I've seen, so you wouldn't want to eat a slice of cheese for that, but I could see it be given at the same time.
Otherwise, you're not going to be, should be, you can't, got to give it, but if it is given, you can have no complaints.
Yes.
So it's just a bit silly.
Yeah, 100%. The ball goes in and comes down in the vicinity of Davis. She gets onto it. She goes on her right boot. And blocked away. Oh, that was a nice piece of play. Just, again, ball just falling to the feet of Laura Davis in dangerous areas would send shivers up the spines of most defenders. And she shaped to hit that one well, and it's well marshalled by Annalie Bidwell there. Maybe Sullivan as well, teaming up. But another chance for Kingborough. Lashmar with a good delivery. It's batted away. And now Foot's in a bit of space. They've got a 2-on-2 here, Kingborough. And it does go over the top. Fuchs is there. Grace Sims chasing it down, and McIntosh. Clearance isn't the best, and now they've got another opportunity. Sims not offside, and just eluding Maddie Payne. Well, for a minute there, both of the Devonport players might have been coming out from an offside position, but not to be. As Emmett tries to play down to Capel. Ball stays in. Both players thought that one went out, and she'll try and go down the line. Best clearance of Fuchs, but did what she could. And just a throw in the corner here. The game opening up. It's pretty end-to-end still. Again, Devonport probably having the better of the play, but Kingborough definitely in this. And that's a bit of a loose one from Emmett and Capel.
Lets them off the hook. It'd been some slightly nervy defending in the last 60 seconds from the lines. A couple of miss-hit clearances, creating a few problems for them.
It's just those little half volleys, bouncing balls in the area. It's always a little tough one to negotiate. Do you take that extra bit of time to make it a good clearance, or just get anything you can on it?
As Hardy rolls it through for Lucy Foot. Foot trying to find Payne, just played it in behind her though, cleared away. Now brought down by Lashman. Lovely touch to Davis, who's got Tilly riding shotgun. Tilly Wills back to Davis. Davis tries to cut through Bidwell. Did she handle it? Referee says play on, then she goes down. Draws the free kick, and the first slice of cheese for the contest goes away of Sullivan.
Devonport wanted a handball, but the referee's been consistent on that all day, to be fair.
Yep.
Anything flicked up, hand in natural position, that's fine. I don't even know if it hit her hand, but so he's played that on, and then, just straight through the back of Davis, and she's starting to really come into the game now, causing a lot of problems for Devonport generally.
So this one, a long way out. Hannah Walsh certainly very capable over the dead ball. We've seen her prowess already. It would take something pretty spectacular from here, but you'd suspect she's going to try it. Although that might prevent her from doing so. She's just fallen down. I'm hoping that's just cramp. Her teammate seems to think it is.
If they lose Walsh and Kanagisa,
jeez, that's a big blow.
That's going to be difficult for them to manage.
Real moment of concern. This could be a huge moment in this cup final. If Hannah Walsh is unable to continue.
Physio's right out there as quick as he can on wind sprint.
It just seems so innocuous. She's prepping to take the free kick and then it's just gone down.
Looks like it is a cramp, judging by just massage straight on the calf and wanting it to be stretched out, which is, in a way is good news. Like, you wouldn't want it to be any more serious, but with this amount of time in the game to play, that's going to be something that she's just going to have to manage, or figure something out. Maybe some pickle juice or salt tablets if they can get something on the bench for her. She's just working it out a little bit. That's on her way off.
Especially if this goes 120 minutes, that's that could be tough. And also, then she can't take this free kick.
Yes,
but a big blow if they were to lose her. Not looking too concerned on the Kingborough bench at the moment. So they'll hope that she's going to be right to continue. But that is a big moment in the final. In the meantime, it's going to be their other talisman, Laura Davis, to step up instead. What can Davis deliver? She bends it on target. And there was Anderson getting across to punch it clear and steer it away. A dangerous ball that. And Davis getting it up and over.
Yeah, pretty good effort from back there. That's really nicely hit. Just from that sort of distance, it just needed a little bit more pace on it. But as well directed as you could probably have from out there. Really good effort.
Walsh appears to be right to get back out there in front of us on the near touchline. So it's thrown into the box by Wiley, trying to find Davis, headed clear. Howell off the back of Lashmer. Bidwell clears the area. Moore. And Walsh has recovered. Not 100% still, but she's got to boot to that one. Hardy to Foot. Foot now sends it wide, looking for a run from Sims. Hennessy shuts that down. And Fuchs unable to find her with a return ball.
It's going to have to cover a little bit here, Lions, as strikers get it straight back underway. Sims showing her pace. Does well to get to the ball, but just running out of room a little bit on the far touchline. I think they're just going to... Just even with the Kanagisa change, Howell's been sitting quite deep, so they've got two really kind of deep holders with Moore as well. And then they're just going to have to cover for Walsh until she can sort of loosen up and get her legs back. As Payne trying to weave her way through. It's blocked off by a couple of strikers. Cappel doesn't have many blue shirts for company. She does challenge enough. Wiley trying to come away with it, and Abby White puts the foot in. And it'll be a throw in again. Just a few things to think about, I guess, for Kingborough more than Devonport. Devonport are just going to keep applying that pressure. Hardy turns it over. Walsh, who were unsure whether she'd have the legs to keep going, but that's a great ball into Davis. Does she have anyone in the middle, or will she go herself? It's to go on her left. It's a big goal and a penalty. She's cut inside. I think it was Emmett who stuck the leg out. And yeah, it was just for half a second I thought, was there enough contact? But definitely did the defender all ends up and went down. Referee said that is a penalty, and that's a massive moment in this game.
Hannah Walsh could barely move, but she somehow got that ball, played the through ball, sprung the attack, and then hobbled over to the bench to get something to drink or eat there to try and deal with the cramp. But she might have set up a match-winning moment early to go that. But now, Laura Davis, she's played in a couple of losing cup finals. She can put her side ahead in the second half here. The Lions star. For years she has been their star attacker. Can she seize the moment here? It's Davis. It's over the top. Can you believe it? She blazes over the bar and it stays 1-1.
Yeah, just went a little bit too hard at that one. I'm on the mind of just hit it as hard as you can. And that's probably why you don't do that. Unfortunate moment for her. Did all the hard work to earn it. And has been really good in this second half, and she'll want to make up for that. I think Anderson in goals doing enough of a dance to put her off, and yeah, from a further distance out, she put a beautiful free kick on target, and that's just the mind games that a penalty on this sort of level will throw the spanner in the works, really.
It's the pressure of a cup final. There may be more penalties yet to feature, who knows? It remains locked at 1-1. Wiley looking to drive in. Skips past one. King across to cover and cleverly just flicks it. Payne drops it off for Walsh, who seems to be moving a little bit more freely. Still not 100%. Turned over there by Howe and might spring the way of Sims, but swacked away to Wills. Back to Walsh. To Wills once more. Now driving at the defensive. Wills, that's got to be a slice of cheese. That is a cynical foul from Holly Emmett and a dose of dairy for her.
Yeah, and I think she was the one who just made that foul on Davis as well. So even something like that, you could see, yeah, definitely a yellow card. And yes, Kingborough, even with that missed penalty, they're playing a lot better. And Devonport now into the pump. There's been a game of big swings of momentum. And they might have done, you know, not had the finishing boots on the penalty, but can they make amends immediately in the aftermath? And while she's sizing up for her, this is where she did go down with cramp just before sizing up a free kick, but looks like she's all right.
Moore just getting right on Anderson as she whips it, and again it's over the top. It's a bit wasteful there from the Lions. Perhaps not making the most of this little spell. We've seen this game kind of go in patches. You want to take your chances while they present themselves.
Yeah, still I feel like I'm recovering just from that whole penalty play. Hard to come back from, really. And they've done well to stick at it. And I think they know they've got the bit between their teeth here. But you don't want to give a team too many lifelines, because otherwise you just can get a bit stuck sometimes and rue those missed opportunities. But they are on it at the moment, Kingborough, and they'll go again. Here's Davis. He turned the corner, good foot in by Bidwell, but Davis works hard to get it back. Does very well with the rebound, counter press from Lashmar, and they'll come away with another big challenge. Being pretty physical in the second half. Sims diving in. That's a foul, and it might be a throw-in. For a minute that Sullivan had also just joined in the physicality.
Crowd starting to become a factor too now. They're getting loud. There's a good atmosphere here at the Den. Howe broken up by White. And that one should be picked up by Anderson out the back. And the crowd can again draw breath once more. Getting stuck into Anderson, giving some issues with distribution, but she just went long on that occasion. It was a good option. Here's Foot. Foot trying to find Payne, slid in there. That looks like a foul. Free kick line there in favour of Sims, and again, a long way out, but Georgia King territory all the same.
Yes. Someone watch where Harry White is as well. I think the crowd can just sense the energy in this game has just gone up another level, and yeah, Kingborough still right in this, and just again, I think if Devonport able to hit this one back, that will be a real big swing in momentum. So King will send it in, it'll ricochet off the wall, and the wall's done its job well, even when maybe you wouldn't necessarily need it in other situations, just to put King off again with Capel. Move it back in. Sims does well to challenge, falls to the feet of Payne. It's Foot on the left foot and skews past the post of Erica McIntosh. So again, you get these periods of play where both teams sort of peppering each other's goals, and no one able to find in the back of the net yet in the second half.
Halfway point of the second half, it remains locked at 1-1, as it was the last time these two met at this venue a month or so ago. The Strikers found the winner that day. They're on the attack here through Capel. Running at Wiley. Drops it off for Hardy. Hardy tries to skip around Wills, couldn't do so, and Wills wins the throw for a side. Nicely done by Tilly Wills. Here's Wiley. He's looking for Wills, just trying to turn Capel. Stays in. Wiley. Back to Payne. Plays it forward. Too shallow for Davis though. White able to break it up. It's going to be your Strikers throwing. They now have a little spell on the offensive here, having spent 10 minutes or so doing plenty of defending. It's been a game that's really ebbed and flowed. Neither team's been able to stay in the ascendancy for too long. And the Strikers take advantage. A little moment in attack here. Here's Maddie Payne. Controlling it nicely. Charge down there by Payne.
Kingborough have just been so good at defending the top of their box today. They've really not had a lot of opportunities to play little through balls in or run through the top of their defence. They've had 2 or 3 players to deal with each time they've gone forward, Strikers, and that's another opportunity there sort of snuffed out by Tilly Wills. And Kingborough will try and calm it down. They've been under the pump, but that's a bit of a difficult bouncing ball. Payne gets on the end of it. Sliding challenge, it's a clean one. It'll come out to Foot. And good body use by Tegan Hennessy, but danger's not cleared yet. Sims goes for the shot. And Payne and Hal deal with it well enough. And Lashmar fully will clear the danger and put Davis on her bike. It'll be Davis one-on-one with King and the keeper. The keeper gets there first. Really good pressure from Laura Davis, and Georgia King also tracking back. It's really end-to-end stuff right now. And that is the constant threat that Kingborough will have, as they can just sort of go, all right, we'll put you in a foot race with Laura Davis and see how you go.
Yeah, Eloise Payne huge up one end, and Georgia Anderson coming up big up the other. Hardy. The foot. Tries to spring Capel with a raking ball. Wiley trapped it, but into the path of Capel. Springs it back to Sims. Sims trying to cut through, but it was well shut down by Fuchs. Walsh still not moving anywhere near 100% as she pulls up lane there.
Yeah, she's struggling. Any sprint she's having to do, I think, is just going to really challenge her.
I think she's just said to Laura Davis, I'm going to sit up top here for a moment. You need to get back and help defend here. They'll loathe to sub her because she doesn't need to move a lot to be effective. The ball's at her feet over a set piece. They'll be desperate to keep her out there, but it does reach a certain point where you become so inhibited that maybe it becomes a necessity to be going through Cam Hazelwood's head at the moment.
Yes, definitely. It's really difficult, and she's such a work rate monster as well that she'll keep working even while she's injured, but it will just make it very difficult for their midfield to function without 2 of their best players more in there, and Howe as well, just going to have to really step up in the absence of Kanagisa and Walsh for the time being. So Just trying to see if there's any movement going on out there. It looks like nothing too much happening. Georgia Edwards is doing some stretching, but I don't think they're going to make a move yet. Well, she's going to do anything she can to stay out there. And potentially with the game at 1-1, you don't need to make that move. And maybe you think, look, if it goes to extra time, we'll evaluate it at full time. But still, so far to go in the game that it's hard to know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, you're going to be reluctant to bring off arguably the best player in the state this year. Here's Georgia King. Long way out is King, but she's going to have a shy. And it didn't really threaten there. Sends it well wide of the mark, just King. And it remains a 1-1 inside the final 20 minutes here of the Statewide Cup final. Possibly not the final 20 minutes the way this game's flying out. We might have a while to go yet. Here's McIntosh will take the goal kick. Hardy gets ahead to it. Controlled there by Sims. Scrapping away for it. Hardy threads it through. Free kick blown the way of the Lights.
Sims just leaving the leg in there just a little bit too late. She's been trying really hard, though this whole game's been lively. Again, I think just without that calmness of Whitney Knight, it's a little bit harder for them to really create a lot of solid opportunities, but the work rate, you can't really fault it from the strikers at the moment. Kingborough will go on the front foot here. Wiley will go forward, and White just bodying off her well and does two of them. Might do three. Puts it back in the middle for Foot. In narrow, it's good tracking back from Lashmar though. And while she's up front, gets held back and does earn a free kick. Hardy just getting her hands in the way. I think it was probably pretty fortuitous for Kingborough in the end, because I don't think Walsh wanted to really be sprinting after that one.
She wasn't going to get to it.
Yeah, the press would have been there for it under normal circumstances, but I think it was, yeah, a bit too far gone. But this is all she might need to do is be a focal point up front and then take the dead ball pieces and probably say, keep her on.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. I'll give her this situation too. So Walsh thumps it in. Plenty of strikers parked back there behind the ball, repelled away towards Sims. Walsh just finds Lashmar wide on the left. Tries to go around the outside of Sullivan, who lunges in and gets it. Some action on the Devonport strikers bench. I think McMullen about to be introduced. So their first sub of the day. The Lions forced to withdraw Danielle Kanagiza in the first at half time.
It'd be interesting to see where they play Louise McMullen. Very versatile player, can play full back or through the middle. Very solid sort of team player. One of those players I think does a lot for the team, a little bit unsung. But here's Addie White barnstorming through the middle, and she'll play it up the line. Sims kind of leaves it behind, but it was a good touch in the end. She'll try and put it in for Capel, who will almost get to it. Has to stretch, and it runs away from her a little bit. Kingborough will be able to regroup slightly. King's come forward from centre back to play that 1-2 in. Capel saves it, but Eloise Payne in a good position to recover it for the Lions. Emmett. And she will win a throw, and they will make the substitution now. Tom Ballantyne signalling to the fourth official.
So we'll see who it is to make way for McMullen. Looks like it's going to be Sam Hardy withdrawn. And I think that's probably just a cautious one. That's the end of Sam Hardy's day, so a bit of energy into the midfield here.
Yeah, might be a slightly more attacking move there, with McMullen probably a bit more of a box-to-box player. King with a decent ball in. It's just... Kingborough defence left that one alone, just thinking, oh, McIntosh has that one, and for half a second there was a couple of blue shirts barnstorming into the back post. Didn't quite get there. And still 1-1. Payne will have to work hard to get here, and she'll just play it out and give the Lions a bit of a breather.
Final 15 minutes of regulation. All still to play for. Want to face in the cup final. Throw in from Emmett. Cleared away by Fuchs. Safety first, the order of the day back there. Some tired players out there. It's been a real intense contest. It's been a furiously paced game for much of the afternoon, so you'd expect them to tire a bit, especially if it goes into extra time. Here's Payne. Lifts it over the top. White's been dominant in the air. Heads that one down. Walsh whacks it clear.
Yeah, just Yeah, just almost thinking in that opening 5 or 10 minutes of the game where both teams were just going at each other, hammer and tongs, is definitely a level above the average WSL game, and to have to do that for an extra half an hour, we'll just see how each team adapts.
Here's Foot driving through the middle. Foot from distance. Fairly comfortable for McIntosh. A good height for her. Untroubled. Both keepers have been pretty untroubled by the long-range shots today.
Yeah, there's been quite a few that have actually found the target, but yeah, nothing too challenging. And yeah, I think just those really clear-cut opportunities. There haven't really been too many really golden ones. Both defences playing pretty solidly. I think really just the missed penalty would be the only one that you'd want to have back.
Will they be made through that one? Davis, could she get another opportunity here? It's Laura Davis getting the better of King. It's Davis onto the right, shut down brilliantly right there. There, cross. And shut down before she could get onto the right foot. Bidwell doing the job, back in the middle. Davis sliding in, wins the ball back for a side to Walsh. Here's Tilly Wills, having a run at the defences. Tilly Wills into the penalty area she goes. And the Strikers' defence holds up. Now they'll look to spring, but just losing control of the ball was Foot. Moore. Lashma. Central ball cleared. It's all deflects awkwardly, but into the path of Bidwell. Uncertain at the back, but they hold on and on. It's a soft turnover. Might leave them exposed back the other way. Sims is tearing off through the middle. She's a speedster, Sims, but Fuchs just gets back to cover it off.
Two young guns of the WSL having to really turn on the afterburners. Just see how much pace Sims has when she really goes for it. You just see Fuchs being like, oh, I have that one. Oh, no, I've got to really hit top gear here. As Devonport have another opportunity. McMullen now. Just struggling to get at the pace of the game. I think that's one aspect with the substitution as well you have to take into account is it will take just a second or two given the intensity these girls are playing at. And that one will just allow McIntosh to slow it down just for a second. But yeah, McMullen one off their back so far, and then a little bit of a 50-50 challenge there. There's Foot with a bit of a soft turnover of their own. And it'll go forward. Direct ball. Bidwell in the air. Leaps for it. Up and down and does enough to just get rid of the hot potato. We'll put Capel under a bit of pressure. And a few little 50-50 challenges. Balls up in the air. And can someone put their stamp on this game? There's Foot. It'll be Payne. It's a good ball through. Sims putting afterburners on. She gets blocked off by Fuchs. No foul. Payne wanted one, and it gets cleared away. Well done by Anna Fuchs. Well, for a second, she might have overly infringed there. You could see Sims was winding up for one of those sprints, but nothing to be.
Foot down the right. Blocked off. The sub being ready. Just reckon the fatigue factor leading to a few mistakes here in the last 5 minutes, a few sloppy turnovers, the fatigue factor starting to tell. The Lions are going to address that by making a substitute, get some fresh legs out there. It looks like Elodie Price is set to come on. We'll see who she replaces. Walsh seems to be moving a little better, so I don't think it's going to be her. They've got a corner to defend, so they'll hold off on making the sub for now. Curled in towards Foot, flicked out, blocked away. And then Hennessy clears the area. And a play. That might allow the Lions to make their substitution. Indeed they will, so let's see who it is who makes way for Price. The fourth official board.
It's like Tilly Wills coming over here.
So Wills off for Price. She's only recently kind of got to fitness and been in the lineup, Wills, so be as many minutes as they could have got out of her. She worked hard today, but her day ends. So a chance for Elodie Price to make her mark. Final 10 minutes. Strikers through McMullen. Foot not quite expecting that one, a bit too far ahead of her. Now to play.
Yeah. big chance for subs to make an impact. Again, just bringing it up to the pace of play and being confident. It's going to be a bit of a nervy period heading towards the full time of 90. And Sims turning the corner. She hits it, and it's a bit of a deflected effort. She's really trying to make something happen at the moment, Grace Sims. You have to respect how hard she continues to work, and I think she senses that the game slows down. If she can put a couple of extra sprints in and use her pace, that maybe she might fashion something for Devonport.
Yeah, there's a few tiring players out there. She doesn't seem to be one of them. That's a very firm challenge from Moore. Ken Hazelwood absolutely loving it right under his watchful eye.
Yeah, Moore takes no prisoners. That was just one where the slip of the turf actually made that one worse for Emmett. Just kind of took a bit of a tumble and landed on the backside, but she's up.
Moore copped a couple of her own in the first half.
No,
so
she's not complaining.
She'll give them back. There's the Lions looking to drive forward here, but it's headed away as a legend of the Devonport Strikers Football Club just walks in front of us here. Rocket Rod Andrews, a nervy customer, as are the Strikers faithful right now. Price. Wiley shows a bit too much of it to White. Now Capel. Payne wants the ball played down the line. Rolls it through for her. She got Sims in the middle, but across to deal with it was Howe. Will it roll out for a corner? Just has enough on it.
Only just. Hal doing very well to cover. You can see Eloise Payne's tiring a little bit at centre back as well, but since Hal's come on, she's just sat deep as a very deep midfielder, but kind of needed her to be there, and that was evidence of really good defensive midfield play there.
Especially with Kanagisa off, Walsh compromise. You kind of need one of your midfielders just to be back there. So King will take this corner. Plenty of bodies up there in the box for the Strikers. Swings in, great ball headed over the top by Foot. Wasn't too far away. The sister act almost getting it done there for the Strikers.
Yeah,
There's been a real threat from corners today.
Yeah, I was just about to say King's been absolute dead-eye from corners today. Really nice kind of low, straight ball, so easy for your attackers to read them as well. Sometimes the curving ones can be a little bit difficult, especially if they are going away from your players. As Sims gets through this little challenge there, she'll turn back on it and play it back up to the top of the box. It gets lumped into the box from Foot, and Capel with a shot and almost chips McIntosh. Just jumps with two jukes in the air, easily takes it, but that was a tricky little ball for the Lions keeper to corral.
Yeah, she was sure-handed there. They can be tough, those ones, when they're spinning through the air with that kind of spin on the ball. They can be tough to judge, but she was very assured. Payne, issued by her namesake, different spelling, Maddie Payne. And Louise across to deal with it. And a good battle between those two this afternoon. As we're into the final 5 minutes of regulation 90. Still, we are locked at one apiece. White's the opener. This one's sent into the box towards Payne. Cleared away there. It was Walsh who equalised for the Lions just past the half-hour mark. Since then, both teams have had their chances. Laura Davis sending a penalty over the crossbar, the best of them. Payne steers it clear towards Price, but she runs out of real estate.
Yeah, Payne and Fuchs have been very solid back there today. Create a really good base for this Lions team. Even last year, they had a completely different back two in Shreve and Orlovsky, but they've always kind of had that solid core, and I think these two are a little bit younger, and they're showing their mettle today. Really putting in the hard yards back there for Kingborough as they look to launch forward now, though. Mullen will nod it into the middle. Sims, who's been lively, she'll put it to Foot, and Foot playing a little bit more direct, and she wanted to. And McIntosh will launch it forward again. They're just looking for Walsh to try and get on the ball without moving around too much. They can't get her on that one that time. And Devonport, again, they just have a bit more mobility in that midfield at the moment.
Laura Davis turning away, and she's brought down. That might be a slice as well.
That was cynical from Abby White.
And indeed it is.
Yeah, it's one of those ones she doesn't want to look at the referee at all. And that was just a chop. As much as I like to sing her praises, that was yellow card every day of the week.
And to be honest, maybe not the worst one to take. Laura Davis herring off towards goal. Not a lot of coverage back. She's gone, you know, I'm going to eat my slice of cheese here. We'll gobble that one up. I'll take it for the team and stop, you know, Davis being one-on-one here and with the centre back. Instead, you're going to have a free kick from about 40 yards.
Yeah. It's that thing where it's all bets are off. There's no real suspensions that can be had unless you do a red card.
And Lashmere over this one. Floats in, teasing ball off the head of Davis. Price tracking it down. It's first to the fall of it. But then turns it over to Foot. And Foot springs Payne. And this is opening up here for the strikers. Maddie Payne brilliantly blocked off by Eloise Payne. Danger not yet passed. Is the flag raised? It is. McIntosh had it covered regardless.
Just a hair offside, Grace Sims. She actually needed that ball early. Payne had her in a one-on-one against, I think it was Fuchs, maybe even Hennessy, but I probably trust Grace Sims to win a foot race against any one on the field. And you just go, look, it's a one-on-one, send it to her. But she went the other way. And just a slight missed opportunity there for the strikers. Still a lot of work to do to get towards the goal, but we'll be ruining that one a little bit. And here is Kingborough. That's a nice little ball from Walsh. Davis puts her body on the line there. More slide it through to Walsh. Can she muster up? Just a little ball in the middle and King will clear.
Out the back to Payne. Takes it towards the line. Displaying the percentages, safety first, but the strikers will get the throw on halfway as we tick towards stoppage time. Here's Whites. Moore getting back in there, won it away. From the ground, White somehow gets a leg in, flicks it forward to Payne. Broken up by Howe. And Payne just goes back to McIntosh.
It's one where you just want a little bit more communication with your centre-backs there, but they simpatico in that respect, and let Payne just play back to the keeper.
Sullivan with the throw. Foot. Sullivan scrapping away, comes away with it. Here's McMullen. A bit of room. McMullen couldn't find Payne. Moore nipping in there at her heels. Won it away once more, and that's under hit. It might open up here for Lashman. She takes off. Emmett stride for stride. She's on a yellow, Emmett. Needs to be careful as Lashman is there, but it was well defended by Emmett.
Both players digging deep in that situation. You see the look on their faces. So I've just got to go here, and Emmett did a really good job there. Lashmar trying to put the pressure on the Kingborough fans get up for their men's team going to warm up. I think they would also be wanting to give that support to their women with this throw in as well. And here they go. Ball comes into Davis. Davis on her left foot, plays it out wide. Here's Walsh. It's blocked. And King will keep it in. And just elude Foot for now. White will clear it away. And now this is a one-on-one between Sims and Fuchs, but McIntosh well off her line and well aware of the danger. Really had no trouble. Fuchs did pretty well to marshal Sims off it as well. The game is starting to become very spread. We're into the dying moments here. And both teams are just trying to make sure it doesn't go to extra time, but sort of cancelling each other out and how much effort they're putting in respectively.
We're into additional time. I didn't catch how many minutes were raised by the board. I was too busy focusing on the Kingborough box rather than looking at the AR's board, but there'd only be a couple of minutes, I'd have thought. And then maybe an additional 30.
Yeah.
It's looking more and more likely. Surely any goal at this point would be the cup winner.
Yeah, only stoppage time that comes to mind is that Walsh sort of cramp, but yeah, can't be long now. And a stoppage time winner would be absolutely massive. Can any team fashion an opportunity here?
Lashma sends it forward. Well broken up by Sullivan. Still got plenty to give. She's an energizer bunny. She takes off down the right, but shutting that avenue off was Hennessy. Clears it away. Thrown into Foot. Lucy Foot. Squaring ball. There was the industrious Moore. All hands on deck at the back. Moore charging through, but King stepped up to join the attack. McMullen, I thought was just going to spring Maddie Payne there for a second. It's safely through to McIntosh. It rolls.
Just trying to keep an eye on the Devonport bench here. It looks like Tom Ballantyne's kept a few cards up his sleeve, potentially for that extra time if it is needed, just to energise things if it gets to that point. And it being 1-1, you don't really want to play for it too much. Just thinking back to the A-League Grand Final where Popovic took a lot of his attacking players off and then went into extra time and thought, oh, okay, who's going to score a goal now?
Well, there's no shortage of late drama in that game,
Yes.
that's for sure. Love that additional time period just like that here today. That was great entertainment. This one's worked down the line to Capel. Payne clears it to Davis. No one ahead of her here, Laura Davis. And sliding in was King to disrupt. Foot just losing her footing. She'll track this one back to Sullivan. Back to Foot. Perhaps one last roll of the dice here for the Strikers. A chance for them to snatch this one right at the death. Short throw to McMullen. Steered towards Payne. Broken up by Walsh. Nodded on. Broken up once more. Stretching to clear there. And feeling it once more is Walsh. Really feeling that one in the calves, I reckon, as this one's thrown towards Foot. Didn't have enough pepper on it, but Sullivan will get another chance. We've gone over 93 minutes now here in the decider. An extra 30 looking like it's going to be in order unless the Strikers can strike late. It might fall for Payne. It might fall for Capel. Getting back in the road was Howe. For a half second there, it just looked like it was going to sit up. But they survive. And McIntosh sends it clear. Nodded on to Capel. Almost made herself the late hero. Blasted out of the facilities there by Wiley. Just sends it down the hill.
I think Kingborough in the firm mentality, let's regroup it at full time and just see what we can do. Devonport pushing very hard here. They've got a bit between their teeth. And that was that last little chance. Bouncing ball in the box always sends daggers through the hearts of any defender. And there's another one, but Fuchs getting enough on it. White. Up in the air, it's Abby White again. It's Abby White! Oh,
straight to the keeper.
Straight to the keeper. Did well to beat about 3 players, and that might have just been about that for Devonport.
Either side, and that's the winner.
Yeah, just had too much pressure on her. Bouncing ball, couldn't poke it either side of McIntosh.
Well, they are the Lions, and they're like Mufasa clinging to the cliff right now, Kingborough. They've got a claw just holding on, waiting for this final whistle to come.
Yeah, the supporters are wanting full time. They've got the horns out. They're wanting maybe, there's another half hour to go. Don't want to say penalties yet, but here we go. Davis on her bike.
Can Davis do something at the other end? Threads it through for Lashmer. Lashmer crossing centrally, and Anderson collects. And we are headed to additional time. They cannot be separated after 90.
You have to say the game's deserved it. It's been a cracking game. Really good periods of play from both teams. Well, I feel like Kingborough a little bit out on their feet at the moment. I think that's the one question that we should probably pose is Hannah Walsh going to make it through another half hour? And how will Kingborough hold on? But, it's been a great game.
A lot of tired bodies out there, but I agree. They look to be lagging more than Devonport to me. Devonport seem to have just a little bit more in their step, and it might come down to how both these coaches use their bench here in additional time.
Yeah, I think that's probably the main difference. I think in terms of starting 11, especially Whitney Night out, you'd say fairly balanced in some respects, but you look at the likes of Phoebe Mitchell on the bench for Devonport. Also Annabelle Wiley, who's a very experienced player. She's a bit more defensive, but they've got a little bit more solidity, you would say, where I think Kingborough a bit younger on the bench, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just don't have that same experience level.
Yeah, it'll be largely youth, but it'll be just a matter of digging deep here. Have they got anything left to give? The coaches huddling up their players here, giving out the instructions. The players just taking the opportunity just to try and recover a bit. They've got to go again. 30 more minutes here.
Yeah, having played 2 extra time games in my entire career, it's a very difficult proposition. The first period is normally okay. It's when you go into the second one and you've got to do that one run where you think, geez, I need to track this player, and you've just got to do it, and sometimes the legs just say no. So these players have played at a much different level that I ever have, but it's still a mental battle as much as it is physical.
Yeah, certainly. And a battle of attrition perhaps will develop here. It's going to be tough. Who's got something left to give? Can either team steal it? Lions, of course, with that huge chance from the penalty spot. Davis put it over the bar. She's going to be desperate to redeem herself, you think, in extra time.
You could see the look on her face as soon as it happened. Like, it was a very good attitude. We've just been like, all right, just got to make up for it now. But I think looking back, that, well, depending on the outcome, obviously, if they pull one out of the fire here, that might just be character building. But if it does end up in the direction of Devonport and you think, oh, geez, we made it to 1-1, I know that sport doesn't work like that. Things change after you score a penalty, but geez, I think that's another mental aspect of it. So I don't think the girls out there will think about that too much, potentially after the game. But yeah, just from our perspective out here, you have to say, geez, that's the moment that they had it on their boot, really.
Absolutely. And then the last 15 minutes, it just felt like the strikers were just hammering away on that door. The Lions just holding on. They needed that whistle. They can regroup now, draw some breath, and then reset themselves ahead of extra time. And then who knows, there might be more penalty drama in this game just yet. But it's been a cracking encounter in many ways. It deserves extra time. It's been that sort of a match.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind penalties. From a neutral perspective, it's always exciting. But we'll see what happens in that respect. Also, I'm just thinking back to that Abby White last opportunity. Did so well to kind of get 2 or 3 players out of her way, and just didn't have really a good angle past the keeper, and McIntosh made a pretty straightforward save. So both teams have had their opportunities, and that's been the beauty of the game in a way.
It has been a cracking cup final, everything we hoped it would be so far. We thought it was going to be a tight battle, so it's proved, and we're just about ready to go here in extra time. 15 minutes each way. Another half hour to battle it out. Who has got some fuel left in the tank here? It's going to be a fascinating little period. Neither team has ever won a women's statewide cup. This would be the first in their club's trophy cabinet. It's a historic occasion. It's going to be a historic day for one of these sides. Who can seize that moment in extra time? Yeah,
as you say, I think it would just be a big moment for both clubs. Like, just can be a really good sort of step in the right direction, or affirming of what Kingborough are doing with their women's program. I know they have been on this stage a few times, but they are a good club that is building, and then Devonport, sort of coming in as a newer club that are able to sort of harness the footballing power of the Northwest as a state, really, and to sort of affirm that as this, we're doing everything right with that transition, and we can really show that we are a powerhouse in women's football and men's football in Tasmania.
We're set to go here in additional time. 15 minutes each way it will be. Moore sends it across to Wiley. Just a drive through the middle of Lightwood Park, but it's broken up into the path of Moore. Walsh says that one's yours, Tegan Hennessy, but she's worked off it by a foot. Now Sims. She hasn't slowed down. She tears off in the middle, ran straight into Howe. And Walsh, who's not moving overly well, but such a classy operator, they're just going to stick with her and just say, you know what, do what you can with your passing and your set pieces. Whoa, tough coming together there. Payne working back in midfield to help. Out the back for King. Bidwell. Lunging in and winning the ball well was Moore. Then Walsh looking to craft something. Is that volley into her own hand there? Referee's been pretty consistent, as you said earlier, though, Alex. Play on the goal. Sullivan gets in ahead of Lashmer. And just trot on the ball, though. Let Lashmer back in. Hennessy. Flicked on by Walsh towards Davis. Davis with the nutmeg. And also the free kick.
Just as you were saying that, with the idea by keeping Walsh on is also, I guess, in a way, with an eye towards penalties potentially. Maybe just keep her on for that. just with her, you'd assume she'd be one of the top penalty takers. They'll have a set piece opportunity here through Laura Davis. She shape up to shoot. Does so. It's a curling effort, and it's a bit of a half volley, easily collected by Anderson. She'll launch it in the Payne direction. Sims with a header, cops a bit of body for her troubles. Foot asking for a handball, nothing given. Again, referee being consistent on that all day. Those close range handballs he's not going to give it. White with the interception. Can't clear her feet. It's an interesting ball from Moore, probably a little bit too much to ask of her counterpart, and they'll go out for a Devonport throw.
Capel. McMullen back to Capel as the Lions' horns really rising here. The fans trying to will their side over the line here, trying to give them a little bit of energy that might be lacking after 90 intense minutes of furiously paced football. They've got another 30 to dig in for.
Yeah, it's just about a matter of holding on, just tick it over, do as much as you can, take those little opportunities to rest when you can as well, but equally, just that little bit of extra effort can go a long way.
Whoosh! That's why you leave her on. Not far away.
Not far away. Just curling the wrong way, but yep, it was worth a shot and almost found it.
I reckon kind of picking your moments when to use your bursts of energy, vitally important. So if you haven't got too much to give, don't forlornly chase after balls. Make sure you're using it when you can have an impact. That's where experience will probably help too. Walsh, Lashmer, working up by McMullen, Sullivan. She hasn't looked like she's tired at all. Hennessy. We've got a drum now into the mix. I'm loving this from the Lions, mate. Over the top, Sullivan just lets it run. And now to play. A sub being ready on the strikers bench.
Looks like it is Annabelle Wiley who might come off. Might come on. It's also a bit of testing of endurance for the commentators too. Interesting to see what sort of role they'll use her in. She's typically been a centre back, but I think has played a little bit of wing in the past. So whether they use that to push someone else forward, perhaps Georgia King might go into the midfield, which I think would be a pretty good option. Use her run and use her quality.
Here's Lucy Foot. Back for Sullivan. Steers it forward, trying to spring Sims. Walsh just volleys it forward for Davis to give chase to, but the line will win out there. And now the strikers will make their sub. It looks like, is it Maddie Payne who's going to be replaced here? So Payne off, Wiley on, so might just be being injected into attack by the looks of things, and just said, look, we just want some fresh legs in the final third.
Yep, maybe a bigger, more physical presence up there. They've been kind of using Payne as like a bit of a target person there, and Wiley with the fresh legs, she's going to put Payne under pressure. Does enough to get out of it now. Always Payne on her bike and passes a little bit under hit. And Wiley asks for the handball, and that one hands him sort of in the wrong position that time. So
yeah, I reckon the ref's done a fantastic job with that today. There's been a lot of them, and I reckon he's nailed all of them.
Yes, I back that one as well. Even though that one was almost a similar situation, the hand positioning was completely different. So
it's not a natural position.
Yes, yeah, definitely fair. But we'll produce an extra opportunity for Georgia King, and seems to be asking for some chewing gum, potentially just dealing with a little bit of extra saliva. Sometimes that can be a trick of a bit of a long distance runner. As King will shape for this one, she'll go for goal, and it doesn't challenge McIntosh. Takes that one casually, much to the delight of the King supporters behind the goal. And McIntosh will get it going quickly. Here's Davis. Got Lashmar running in behind. And she sent it there. It's made a little bit strong. But probably not the worst thing to put King under pressure there. As she is wont to do, just play it very calmly. Sullivan direction now. She'll weave through a couple. Moore, who's been making big tackles all day, makes another one. And another one. And can't get the third. And doesn't make the foul in the end. A little bit harsh potentially there, but She's been doing a power of work, especially with a limited Hannah Walsh.
I should say Alex Tween is our man in the middle today. Singing the praises of there moments ago in the big game and doing a good job of it too.
Yep.
There's Mr. Tween. Awarded with the big cup final and shown why he was selected for this game as this one's out of play. There's a lot of players looking out on their feet, just trying to will and summon something from somewhere when the ball comes in their vicinity. Chipped over the top. Sliced clear by Bidwell.
A little bit tired from Annalie. Looks like probably the only person who does have a bit of energy is Lou McMullen, who's come up as a sub. She's still sort of moving for the ball. Everyone else is like, okay, we'll just take our breath on the throw in.
Down the line, Sullivan gets in the path again, breaks that one up. As the Lions look to drive the attack here. Davis. Sullivan crashes in, wins it away. Moore sliding for the ball. Davis stretching, can't get there. Lashma chips it up. Cleared away by White. We'll get our own ball here and just loft it on out of there. And steered away by Fuchs. Quite where she was aiming for, but clears the vicinity.
Yeah, I think anything is effective at the moment for defenders. It's like, all right, get it away from me.
Feels like a chance has got to open up here at some point. There's so many tight bodies, it just has to happen. Will it be here? No. Payne, she's been fantastic in the heart of that Lions defence. And she steers that one clear. Can they find something on the counter-attack here? Walsh not going to get to that one. She's not moving well enough to get there. Hooked that one forward. Payne again rakes it up. Capel. Payne across. Wins the ball once more. Works it down the line for Price. Going for a third time, Payne. Eventually it'll be a striker's throw in. Emmett. Wiley. Substitute Wiley. That was a bit optimistic. Fairly tame effort in the end.
Just trying to think about sort of both coaches are going to do as we approach kind of the first half of extra time being over. Is there a shape change? Are you going to want to put extra players forward? I think maybe they'll save that for right at the end. But again, with the prospect of penalties, maybe you just chance your arm at pens and think, we've done the work during the week. Surely they would have done some. And trust that work that you've done.
It's going to be fascinating to see if we do get to that point. Still plenty of time though left in this one. Why'd they go for McMullen? Lashma gets a boot on it. Out of play. Sullivan with the throw. No one really working hard to give her an option. Eventually McMullen does. Sullivan in some space. Foot here. We see Foot. So all getting a bit stagnant. Perfectly understandable why. This has been a taxing encounter. King. Capel. Now the substitute Wiley combining with Foot. Tried to tee it up for McMullen. Curls one back. Oh, dangerous. The chance that's Wiley. It wouldn't sit for her. And there was Wiley off from Kingborough getting back in the way to disrupt Wiley of the Strikers.
We've got two Wileys on the pitch now. That was desperate stuff from Ava Wiley. Did very well. And did what she can and gets away with a goal kick there. That was definitely off her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know about that.
See, Annabelle Wiley of Devonport. She was up in arms about that. But it's all right. We'll give him one, the referees. Been good every other respect today. And that's a decent ball. They get through. They can't. Lashma in a bit of space. Try and get around. Emily Bidwell, Sullivan, we'll have to swing it away. Now Kingborough with a bit of space.
First half, the speed at which the ball was flowing in to end, it was flying. Now it's like it gets up there, right, now I've got to spell in out this end.
Keep it down there.
Launch it long, then we all trudge up the other end. It's fascinating the way this game has evolved. Long throw. They can afford to let that one run through though. It'll be a goal kick.
I'm really just thinking maybe you put Georgia King up a bit further. I mean, she's still running up there from centre back anyway. Do you go three at the back? Like, I'd chance it, but It still might be a little bit too early to roll the dice to that degree.
Do you fancy penalties, knowing that the opposition star striker's already missed one? Who knows what he's going through in these coaches'
no
heads?
Kanagisa either, which you'd trust
Yeah.
her to take a pen on this sort of stage as well.
Those two and Walsh should be your first three off the ranks, I'd have thought. So, yeah, fascinating decisions for the coaches from both sides. The Lions trying to find something in the final third here, but it's broken up once again by White. Lucy Foot prods it through for Wiley. Wiley over the top. Fuchs stretching to head clear. Back down to Wiley, who just lofts it too much on that. Through to McIntosh it goes. It's an absolute battle of attrition right now. Why'd they go for Hennessy? Hennessy just drives it long, but it won't make its way through to Davis. Ball to be won in midfield. It was won by Howe. Walsh. It's slow to a walk here at the moment. Broken up. Foot. Foot walk. Wandering forward here. Can she spring Sims through her legs? Out the back. Hacked clear.
Foot dealing with some cramp as well, so one hobbled player each now for each team. It's really all hands on deck, and they've still got another 15 minutes of this to go. So it's going to be some real stretch stuff. Can anyone put their foot on the ball and make a difference? Really stand up. Foot will try and press that. She's done pretty well considering she can barely move. And McMullen pokes it through. Howe's done well there. And Walsh just goes, get it up there, and puts a bit of pressure on the keeper.
Price is a sub on a few players with some legs to
Exactly.
get there.
I think that maybe that's what Walsh is thinking. Look, everyone else can't. You have to do the running for us.
And it looks like a double sub's about to be prepped by the Lions, and they might be thinking, right, time to get those fresh legs on. It is noticeable how much both teams are lagging, but Bidwell's still got something to give. She's cutting through the heart of Lightwood Park. She rolls it through looking for Sims, but there was just too much on the pass.
Oh, I thought that was a decent ball. McIntosh well off her line. Sims was running for it. See, I think that's where the difference might be made even. Just that attacking run from Bidwell and King. They both have it in them. His wife's going to run her own though. She'll go round one and it'll get cut out. We'll find Foot. She'll nod it up to McMullen. She'll try and take it wide and does find Capel. Early ball and McIntosh, much to the delight of the Kingborough fans, just happy to take that one with open arms.
And she will launch. Brought down by Price, the substitute. Tries to go around Emmett, plays it off her for a throw. Tired bodies out there, Ken. Either side conjure a late hero in extra time. Or will it be headed to the penalty spot to determine the 2024 statewide cup champions?
I just have a feeling it will be. I don't want to commentators curse anyone, but just the way it's going, the way these two defences have played, they've been absolutely fantastic today, and it just seems like it's almost a step too far to breach them at this point, but you never know. There's still a fair bit of time in this one to go.
A lot of funny things can happen in an extra time, and the strikers are on the attack here through McMullen. She spreads it wide for Capel. There's a lot of bodies forward here. Bursting was McMullen. Capel will knock it back to White. But Wiley centrally. King jumps up into the attack. She's a threat from range, Georgia King. Plays the 1-2. It's Georgia King. Threads it through for Sims. Sims is well marshalled by Fuchs.
Massive challenge by Anna Fuchs. Had to make a challenge, and she got it completely right. Sims was trying to jink around a couple. Here's Davis now, putting Bidwell under a lot of pressure. Bidwell goes down and earns a free kick.
Oh, no chance. No
She
chance.
wants Davis to be carded. But no, nothing in that one in terms of cheese. Definitely a foul. But Bidwell, she's a fiery competitor. Got really good energy, and she's just tells her to get lost and puts Georgia King back into there. And I was just saying that, geez, that run from Georgia King was absolutely fantastic. Almost broke the game open.
She's marauding forwards. Here's Lucy Foot, broken up by Payne. Outstanding today. Payne goes around the outside, just running out of room, but I think the free kick, no, it's the half time in extra time whistle that's gone. We're 15 minutes away from penalties. They can have another breather. The battle continues. This has been an epic.
Yes, it's It's been an open game in this extra time period. You can tell both teams are out on their feet, and there have been a few close calls in that one. I think Devonport probably, again, throughout the game, they look like they've had the better opportunities, but they just haven't found it to fall right at the right time for them. And you just sense something's going to happen. I kind of feel like I'm sensing it brewing out of the Georgia King area. Running out of defence is causing a lot of problems. Set piece delivery is good, and that's something that Kingborough will just have to manage. But especially their centre backs have just been so good today. Like, really, apart from the first goal, which was on a set piece, they've been rock solid back there. So they'll just have to keep going and just do whatever sort of recovery they can. I think Cam Hazelwood is finally going to his sub bench as well. Looks like Georgia Edwards might be coming on.
Yeah, look, for years, and probably what cost them ultimately in the Cup finals was defence. They were just a little loose at the back, and that's been their problem for a number of years, but the improvement has been significant this year, and today you've really seen it. Fuchs and Payne have been wonderful there as that centre-half pairing, and, you know, 1-1 deep into the piece. If they go down today, it's not going to be because of the defence.
Yeah. I kind of feel for whatever team doesn't come out on top here, just because they've both put in tremendous efforts, and you're absolutely shattered to lose it, but I guess equally proud that you've made it that far and done so well. So it almost softens the blow a little bit knowing that you haven't been outplayed, but just the amount of work you do put in, it might be difficult to handle, but we'll breach that when we come to it. Have 15 minutes with all to play for. Potentially penalties at the end, but any team the Cup winners.
Well, Capel has just gone off for Matthews for the Strikers. I think the Lions made a double switch in there as well. Edwards, one of those who came on. Might have been Everton Gunn. Quite tough to see who they were because they're all huddled and then they came out of that. But we'll keep track of that and see if we can spot who the Lions substitutes are who've come on here. Perhaps fresh legs could be the difference makers here in the final 15 minutes. There is Edwards, one of the players who's come on. She charges that down. Into the middle. Walsh still out there. Given she was cramping up in about the 55th minute, she has had to dig so deep here today. It's been gutsy.
Yes.
Hannah Walsh.
Yeah. It's really, yeah. Been still like pretty decent, even though she's been not very mobile at all. When they've been able to find her feet, she can really put it in some dangerous areas and use her body well, as she is doing right at their second. And that's a good ball. Will it hold up for Davis? Just looked like it had the right spin on it, but just took off a little bit off the ground there as the lights take hold here at Lightwood Park. The sun well behind the hill towards the mountain. And we are deep into extra time. 1-1, still the score. As we go with a goal kick, and Walsh has got the right idea, just get it forward. Puts Emmett under a lot of pressure. Lashmar with a good sprint. She makes a turnover. Ball just not the right angle, and McMullen will send it forward. Sims underneath it, bounces over her head. Lucy Foote, who's been dealing with a little bit of cramp, she's stayed on as well. she's quite hobbled as well. Maybe just for the penalty's sake, they've kept her on as well. Here's Moore. Been everywhere for Kingborough today. Just eludes Lashmar with the pass, though.
I reckon Laura Davis just found a fifth win, forget a second win. She looked like she was lagging a bit there at the 100-minute mark, and then had that sprint right at the end, and then started off this second additional time period with another sprint. She's got a little bit to give. Could she be the hero for her side? As this one's nodded into the middle by White, looking for Foote, toes it forward to Sims. Battling away with Fuchs. Moore comes in with support, but Sims skips in behind, then gets clipped, and that will be a slice of cheese.
Good foul for Kingborough, I have to say. That, like, Sims might have been through there. So you take that one. I know Georgia King, you don't really want to give her another opportunity on a dead ball, but this far out, you think, okay, we'll just manage Abby White and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work out for you and you eat the yellow card. But yeah, if they score from this one, you say fair play to them.
Yeah, agreed. Decent yellow to take. Sims was skipping through him there. So King, over the dead ball, will just curl one in this time towards White. Always the target. Fell the back post, but the flag had been raised from the AR. The danger passes for the time being for the Lions.
White did pretty well there to bring it down to ground. Had 2 white shirts hanging off her, but didn't find a blue shirt. And that's not the best from McIntosh. Finds foot straight away, and Sims will head it into the Wiley direction, or bodied by Fuchs, and just does enough to keep it in Kingborough possession, but Abby White will go on her left foot. And Laura Davis working hard back. Looks like she swapped over with Walsh again, just giving Walsh a breather. Walsh will try and press as well as she can and makes a turnover for Kingborough, but chopped out and into the middle. Moore. She'll just be able to corral it for Kingborough. Georgia Edwards, who's the sub on at left back, will go through for Elodie Price, and a bit of body on body from Sullivan. I think Kingborough, they're pushing here now. They don't really have anyone up front for them at the moment. While she's kind of hanging in a bit of a false line position. Moore's gone up. She almost gets through a couple of strikers, but doesn't. And now it will be Georgia Edwards. Dangerous ball in the middle for Walsh to curl around the outside. Probably had time to take a touch. And maybe that's just what they've got to say is Davis and Walsh will get a little bit of time in the midfield and maybe just have a ping or take one extra turn before you really just start launching it forward.
Foot brings it down. Scrap for it in the middle, Matthews, and now Foot trying to spring Wiley. It's Wiley charging out behind. Payne across the deal. Support comes from Edwards. Still with it, Wiley. Patience. Across to Matthews. Squaring ball is broken up. Laura Davis, of all people, back there in the centre-back spot to disrupt. Good thing she was, but the threat not passed yet. The 2-12s battling away. Abby White trying to glide through. Couldn't get past the second. Oh, they've turned it over, though. And a relieving free kick paid as Matthews threatened. And it's going
to have to be a little bit careful there. That was a bit of a sliding challenge. She's already on a slice of cheese. I know there's not long in the game. I think I would almost back 10 men to just see out 5 minutes, but
it's Valentine might be making that point right now.
Yeah, I think it's just like, might have got away with that one a little bit. But she's been very good today. Goal scorer for Devonport. It looks like Lucy Foote, who has been dealing with cramp, who's coming off. Abby White is also down dealing with cramp behind play.
Leah Smith to come on.
It's an attacking change. I think in normal circumstances they'll probably leave Lucy Foote on, but she just doesn't have, you can tell she just doesn't have the legs at the moment. And it looks like Abby White's in quite a bit of trouble back there for Devonport.
They're going down like flies. And you can understand why.
Yeah, almost 2 hours of football played. It's a good half an hour more than, well, eventually more for someone like me. And you want to play.
And the Lions get something here. Laura Davis. Plenty of bodies back in the way as Davis weaves one way then the other. Squaring ball. Bodies arrive, but Sullivan steers clear. Couple of air swings. Wiley battles to win it. Gets it to Sims. Sliding in more. Just broke it up. And then Matthews sends it over the top for Wiley. She's goal side. It's Wiley. Can she win it? Wiley! Strikers ahead! The substitute Wiley off the bench onto the score sheet, and the Lions have 8 minutes to respond.
What a neat finish. Just that injection of fresh legs. Just say everyone else looks out on their feet. They're dropping like flies, and that's why you make subs. And there's another one going down. There's Annabelle Wiley, probably not known as a striker, but geez, that was a nicely taken finish in the end, and that is an absolute heartbreaker for Kingborough Lions. They've battled so hard all day, and they are, you can see they're ready, they're trying to get it back to getting the game started again as quick as they can, as they are running out of time now.
Yeah, that was the finish of a world-class striker, that was.
Neat.
Annabelle Wiley thumps it home. It was just the fresh legs. pain has been immense all day, but she just couldn't stick with her in the sprint there. Just had nothing left to give. The fresh legs did up. And what a finish under pressure. 1-1 cup final. Can the Lions respond? They've got about 7 or 8 minutes here, plus maybe some additional time. They'll try throwing the kitchen sink. Do they have the kitchen sink? Do they have anything left to give here, Kingborough? Can they dig deep? It's Lashmer over the dead ball. She swings it in. It's a teasing ball into the mixer. And there is Wiley, looming as the hero to whack it clear.
Doing it all at the moment. Just got to get it launched if you're Kingborough. Hashtag team get it launched. You just got to get it in the box. Put people up there. Hopefully it falls to the feet of Laura Davis type and you can get something on it. They're trying to fashion something here. Oh, Lashmar just... It's the last touch there. And they're going to slow it down, Devonport. Even though Emmett's running across quicker than most people are moving just on the field of play at the moment. They get it going pretty respectfully, the strikers. But she's sacked off it by Davis. It's a ball in the middle. It's Walsh! Oh, no. It's saved by Anderson. It fell to her feet, but it just didn't stick for her. I think that might be it for Kingborough. Unfortunately, a great ball in by Laura Davis. They're still trying.
There's still time as Howe charges that one down. Wiley, what an inspired sub this is looking from Tom Valentine. She's looming as the winner here. Walsh was inches, a slightly softer touch, and she would have had a shot from 2 yards out. Game of inches. Brilliance from Davis to forge the chance. So, look, there's a bit over 5 minutes left here. There's still perhaps time for one more attack or two if they can get it up there. Devonport will be in absolutely no rush here. They'll just try and get it in the corner, soak up the seconds. Matthews might have won a corner. Wiley trying to prevent it. She succeeds in preventing the corner, but it'll still be a striker's throw-in.
Kingborough just need possession if they're going to do this. Any time taken out of the game like this, any time the ball's at the feet of the striker's player, they're just not going to have an opportunity to get it up the other end of the field. And they'll try and play it in, but Moore does have it now. And White barges her off it and earns a free kick for her troubles, just chopped on the way out. A big hit, but she's done well enough to get the ball in the process. And sort of wonder what Devonport will do. Will they just put this one in the corner? Sims has gone over there, so they have her as an option if they want to use her. But it looks like Smith might be shaping up to just put this one into the mixer here.
Tom Valentine pointed straight to the corner, so if I was just directing traffic, well, that's where he wants it. Either way, Matthews over the dead ball and probably should have gone to the corner in hindsight because that gifts it right back to the Lions, who have no time to waste, and they shan't waste a second. McIntosh works it to Edwards, volleys it on to Davis, turns away from trouble. Laura Davis, has she got something left to give here? Oh, well done, McMullen, got a foot in, broke it up. Howe, Edwards, trying to find Moore, just bounced over her head. Matthews, Moore still fighting hard. It was Sims who sent it forward. Fuchs lofts it up, but Anderson will come and collect. And she is in a hurry for some reason. Decides to just launch it.
Yeah.
Fuchs clears away. They'll get the throw regardless.
You just fall on top of that one normally. But yeah, get it launched. I don't mind it. But Kingborough will have another opportunity. There's another handball. And what are they going to do here? Looks like Fuchs is just going to try and get it forward. Devonport making sure they're committing players onto the ball. See Abby White playing as a striker now. She's done for the day pretty much. Into Walsh. Flick it up in the air. Payne, who's gone forward. Nods it down, but not in any of her teammates' direction. It's fallen to Walsh, though. Big challenge by Wiley, who, as you say, doing it on both ends. Gone back as a defender now and putting in the big challenges. And we'll go forward. Abby White running it down. And she's done pretty well to push a player off the ball at one-on-one. Will she go to the corner? Will she just go for goal? She'll go for goal. It's Abby White to seal it, and it's well kept by McIntosh, sliding in. Just the last final touch got away from her a little bit. And she's been fantastic today, and that's a ball that's gone forward. And they're still battling for it, Kingborough.
couldn't quite drive the final nail into the coffin there, Whites. They're holding on Kingborough for one last chance perhaps. Lashmer with the left, she drives it forward. It was broken up by Wiley. Looms as the hero, spills to Moore. A little bit of room here for Moore. Not a lot of movement around her though, as Walsh sends it to Davis. Laura Davis running at Emmett here. She drives to the byline and wins the side of corner. Get up there, McIntosh. Get up there, Keats. Throw the kitchen sink at him.
I wouldn't say she's the tallest goalkeeper to go up there, but may as well. They're leaving Georgia Edwards back. They've got two back. You've got to put more players forward, Kingborough. Get them in there. Everyone in there.
119th minute. Lashman will send it into the mixer. It's a great ball. Davis was there. Sea of humanity. Walsh! Over the crossbar from Walsh.
Thought for half a second they might have a penalty shout. Or someone went down. I think it might have been Davis or Fuchs who hit the deck and didn't get caught with the ball. It sat up for Walsh and on her left foot put it over the bar. I think that might be it for Kingborough, as Davis is down with cramp as well now. And you feel for the Lions. They've tried valiantly. They're just been just a little bit let down by the finishing in key moments with the penalty and that last opportunity there. They committed players forward. There was enough of them there to get a goal. And now Devonport, they've just got to be clinical now. I think just play it to Georgia King and say, let her do the rest, as that's not the best clearance. Much more happy to take a throw in. She look for more straight away.
Moore. She was Emmett. Back to Moore. Wiley gets a foot in. Dying embers of this one. Can the Lions salvage a late miracle and 4 spot kicks? Davis the target. It's headed away once again. Over the head by Lashmer, but it lacks direction. And it will come down perhaps to how much additional time the referee adds here. We've nearly reached the full allocation.
Yeah, Devonport bench is saying, George, if you take the free kick, sorry, the goal kick, make sure of it, because that goal kick was not the best. It's not what you want to see in the 120th minute of this game.
Sends it out. Broken up by Walsh, needed forward. Emmett was there to steer clear once more. Fuchs over the top of Sims, but it fell to Wiley, who cleverly flicks it back up. Edwards. Oh, miss kick might fall for Sims. Will she tear off to the corner flag here? Couldn't bring it under a spell, but Edwards can only kick it out of play, and that will be precious seconds eaten up. They're almost there, the Devonport strikers. They can taste it now. Here's Bidwell. Down the line she goes. Brought down by White. She's been superb today as White. She heads to the corner flag. Edwards has to try and win the ball here. She can't just stand there.
Yeah, it's just a size mismatch. And
there it is! It's all over! The Devonport strikers win an instant classic in extra time. Annabelle Wiley, the hero, in what will go down as one of the great women's statewide cup finals. The strikers win it. Both teams had their chances. It was a game for the ages, and the strikers claim their first ever women's statewide cup. Alex Mummery, we thought we were going to get a close game. Boy, did we get it.
Oh, cracking game of football. Both teams absolutely out on their feet. I feel shattered for Kingborough in a lot of ways. Like, they had opportunities to win that game. They played really, really well. But Devonport only just too much depth, too much quality, and it's that one moment to separate the teams, and they've done it. They're the state champions, and you can't say it's not deserved.
Yeah, it was a real battle of attrition there at the end. Both sides, they were out on their feet, you know, in the final minutes, the 90, let alone the additional 30 they had to play. It was just who could find something. And it was the strikers who had something. And it was off the bench. It was Wiley. It was that extra pace. The tired centre-backs just couldn't keep up with their Hannah Walsh. She was cramping in the 50th minute. Guts it out for another 70. Spare a thought for Laura Davis. Places that penalty over the top.
Yeah, had a good game otherwise.
She's been a star. She's been the best striker in the state for so long. You feel for her. She missed that chance. The strikers take theirs. It's a game of fine margins. Either side could have won this one. Neither side deserved to lose. But the Strikers will hoist the silverware in one of the Great Cup finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quality game. I'm a bit out on my feet here in the commentary box as well, as the Devonport players salute their fans who've travelled down and taken up a position on the far side of the field. But yeah, it's very well earned from this really solid Devonport outfit. And really, just have to say, it came down to the substitutions. It was putting Mullen and Wiley on just at the right time, give them enough time in the game, and Annabelle Wiley made the difference in the end with a lovely little finish.
Well, we'll take a breather ahead of the Lacquer Cup final after that classic and head to the presentation, which will be taking place very shortly. Andrew Cooling and Alex Mummer have been calling the action here. Don't go anywhere. We've got another cup final coming up shortly. In the Women's Statewide Cup, it's the Devonport Strikers 2, Kingborough Lions 1, Annabelle Wiley, the hero.
Well done to both teams of our Women's Statewide Cup. Just a round of applause for both our teams. 120 minutes. Great effort, girls. That was brilliant. I'd like to welcome the Honourable Meg Webb, MLC, the independent member for Nelson, who will assist us with the presentation alongside Tony Pinata, the CEO of Football Tasmania. Firstly, we'd like to congratulate the referees for today's match. Alex Tween, who was assisted by Logan and Gypsy, and our fourth official, Isaac. And now I'll welcome the captain of the Kingborough Lions, Laura Davis. I'll hold it for you because there's two, so you just do the talking and I'll hold it for you.
Firstly, I just want to say a big congratulations to Devonport. Yeah, really well fought today. It's always a challenge coming up against you guys, and yeah, you deserve the win, so well done. Secondly, just want to say thanks to everyone who came out and supported today. It's great for women's football to have this many people here, so yeah, thank you guys for coming and supporting us. There's so many volunteers and members of the club to thank as well for hosting the Statewide Cup finals today, so a big thank you to the parents, the sponsors, and yeah, just all the volunteers, especially Kathy James, Cameron Ellis. Just yeah, I'm sure I'm forgetting lots of people, but a huge number of people coming out today and over the week to help set up, so thank you to those people as well. And again, congratulations Devonport, and to my girls, I'm so proud of you and the way you fought, so yeah, we're going to come back stronger, and yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Laura. And now through to our McDonald's Player of the Match. There is a panel of numerous members that vote on this one. This was a close affair. There was plenty of girls that could have won this one today, but this has been awarded to Devonport strikers number 12, Abby White. And now I'll welcome the captain of Devonport Strikers, Georgia King.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank Football Fed for putting on today, and obviously Kingborough for such a great turnout. It's so good to see so many people here, and I think we put on a great show for the crowd. Also, thanks to Kingborough, well fought, such a good game. It could have gone either way there at the end, so you guys should be proud of yourselves. Just keep your head up and keep working on everything. So lastly, thanks to our crew. We've got such a great team over there. Our preparation's been improving every week. We've been working so hard. We've got such a range of players. We've got some oldies over there and some young babies too. So it's such a great mix. So yeah, you guys should all be proud of yourselves. We've keep building from what we've done so far. And yeah, thanks so much.
I'll just get you to get presented with your medal first, and then I'll get you to come back over here. I'll just get you to call your girls over to get their medal, and then I'll stand for them.
Alrighty, we'll start off strong with Maddie Payne.
Bit quicker.
Annalie Bidwell. Holly. Our young pup Grace. Jam. EJ. Mia. Louise.
So, you can't pass it that quick. Slow walk back and forth, slow.
Belle. Ando. Phoebe. Abby. Danny. Sammy. Is that it? Our engine, Lucy.
And then you've got 5 staff, technical staff. 5. Yeah.
Our amazing manager, T. Our
3, 1, 2, 3 more.
Chilla.
Yep.
and Tom.
And I'll just we'll get Georgia to be presented with our trophy for the Women's Statewide Cup. And our 2024 Women's Statewide Cup champions, Devonport Strikers.
Yeah, just squeeze in a little bit. Whoa,